Folks, hello and welcome to Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse.
Hiya, folks.
Bleh, bleh, bleh. Stumbling over my own fat tongue. Uh, Folks, welcome. Hey, Glenn, I'm no longer suffering from allergies from hell. I'm no longer suffering from COVID.
Good,
Look at that.
good.
I'm going to be healthy in time for North Texas.
That's good. And just in time to get the con cred. Okay.
Don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. Actually, I've only caught
And
Concord once, and that was in 2020.
hi,
Total.
Doc.
But
Well,
that was worth it.
I put one of my new convention shirts on just for this show.
Which
I wasn't going to wear it until the con.
I grok tobacco.
Yeah.
I don't grok new systems, but I grok tobacco.
I got that go. Took me, 30 years to figure it out, but I got it.
Hey, you can teach an old dog, new dog. An old dog, new tricks. There you go. Doc, welcome. Yes, thank you. So
Still working on getting him special gifts for North Texas next year. Haven't talked to Bad Mike yet.
Wake it harder. Listen. I am a special guest at ShireCon, which is awesome, and I am a secret special guest at TotalCon. I guess
Secret special guest.
Yeah, I've been told to make sure every year that Rachel and I just make sure we get our admission paid for, so we get comped for the con.
Yeah.
So I don't think I actually get a special guest pass, but it's pretty cool.
I still got to put some money aside for next year's North Texas. I wonder if Mr. Oliver will take the money when I get there.
Oh, I don't know. He's not Doug, man.
Yeah, but money's money, man. It's con money.
But having to keep track of it early is a pain in the ass. Graham
Yeah,
Rig.
well,
Yes, UK time. Maybe Dave Thompson will join you in the UK time zone tonight and tell us how we're running late. So, by the way, folks, just so you know, as usual, the amount of show prep that Glenn and I did eclipses the show prep, or the game prep that I do when I run a game. But
although I did more prep than I did my Gangbusters game, so there's something there.
You know, you sent me the write up. That was pretty cool, man, to see.
Oh yeah,
Rachel and I being detailed.
Yeah, I'm still working on it though.
That's okay. The Zatron, as I understand,
I don't know. This year is coming hard. Yeah, more or less. But these days, if I end up running 2E, it's going to be a combination of 1E and 2E, just so I can put the races, some of the races and classes back.
What, you don't like the missing assassins?
Well, yeah, we got to have half orcs.
True.
And a monk.
Listen, you could be like Joe the Lawyer and have like 30 pages of house rules for your 2E rules.
Oi, I'm not a masochist.
Oh, man. And it's like, there's a revision to the house rules. You're going to have to download them. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you, man.
Minuscule or something. So, I sort of do it ad hoc. I may have 3 or 4 house rules. I can't remember them right now, but first thing I do if I'm playing 2E, by the way, is throw out the feats and the proficiencies.
Really?
I don't like them.
Okay.
It clutters up the game. That's why that's why I do Castles and Crusades too, because it's 3rd edition with all that junk taken out.
Fair enough.
And they think they have half orcs in there. They're not. They should.
Well, then, I'm going to have to ask you an important question then, since you are a 2E guy. Now, what is your opinion, sir, on the skills and powers book for 2E that came in at the end of 2E?
Well, you got an hour in a puke bucket.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. We'll hang it up right now.
Yeah. Well, I read through it and I looked at it and I said, if I want to play Champions, I'll go play Champions.
Yeah.
That's basically what they did.
It was the prelude to third edition. That was the testing ground. And it was totally
those three books, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the 2 books plus then it was like the Book of Swords or some.
No, it was a combat and tactics, spells and something else, and skills and powers.
Oh, was it that worked?
Spells and magic. Yeah.
I haven't opened up those books.
They even made a DM one for high level campaign play.
Wow, I haven't opened those books up easily in 25 years. They're still sitting on my shelves.
Oh, by the way, let's do the eternal question. What are you drinking tonight, Eric?
I am drinking A&W Root Beer Zero.
Becky, when I went I had to go to Zero Sugar stuff, and I said, Becky doesn't like it either, but she said, Diet A&W is probably the best out there. I got a 12-pack, went through that 12-pack. Yeah, it's probably the best one out there. Zero Sugar A&W.
Zero Sugar A&W is very good. Zero Sugar Dr. Pepper, especially if you can get it like the extra vanilla, is like pretty spot on.
With the cream soda in there.
Yeah. Like ooh, even better. But yeah, the root beer is, and I think we got it at like, I don't know, Dollar Tree or something like that. We got it at a discount place.
Dr. Pepper, I hardly ever drink straight unless I'm in a restaurant and they have it, because I like the stuff I like the cherry Dr. Pepper and the cream soda Dr. Pepper and the whatever they got, the strawberry and cream one now. I like stuff in my Dr. Pepper.
Okay. See, Doc, I would do your crazy strong tea, cold, no sugar, but with actual stevia leaf. Not the powder. Yeah, the actual, like one leaf. Drop a leaf in, let it steep for a little bit, especially if it's cold. Just give you a little extra sweet.
We already got our pizza from Domino's. I had some.
You didn't share.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gage is here and he got some too.
Oh.
So we were throwing around boxes in the garage today, trying to get these shelving put up, and Becky found out it was the wrong size, so we had to send them back to Amazon. We had to pack them up and send them. Yeah, I'm still looking for like the last few things I need for my Gangbusters game. I've got the tokens I got to make and all that, and I don't have the card tokens. I don't know what I did with those. I got to go through boxes and find them. Oolong.
How long is your oolong?
So, business.
Hey, well, I got hit with a notification from YouTube that there's a selection of videos, I think 8 or 9, that are being reviewed because there's a privacy complaint. And they go back 2.5 years. And initially I thought it was because of 3 initials. 3 letters, but it wasn't the 3 letters. It's Wonderfilled. It's Stephen Deinhardt, apparently. So, folks, I'm going to make sure these videos are linked on the show notes or a pinned comment to this live stream. So if you want to see them before maybe 1 or 2 poof, I don't know why they would. They look pretty clean to me. But I'm also going to put them up on Rumble. So,
well, you got the raised eyebrow to me. That's weird.
So I'm gonna listen. It's not the first time I've had Dave Johnson try to do this when I was at TotalCon earlier this year. So, I mean, just I guess it's like Candyman. If you say Stephen Deinhardt, I'm sure
3 times.
3 times like Candyman. He'll come and like, he'll take down because they mentioned my name, although he believes he's famous or should be. So I don't know, but
I go on about the zero sugar stuff, and look what I'm drinking: regular Pepsi.
Regular Pepsi. Glenn, that's diabetes in a bottle. You can't be doing that. Sorry, I just gotta get.
I reserve my sugared stuff for meals. I just had my meal, so I purposely I do have sugared soda around here, but I purposely keep it like real small, like a cup, like maybe a bottle or two. What keeps me from not drinking that stuff is the fact that if I want it, I got to go out and get it. And most of the time, I don't want to go out and get it.
Oh no, I got you.
So that helps.
I mean, I've cut down on my beer consumption like 90%. I only drink it when I go out. But at home, I'll have red wine. Red wine is actually good for your heart. You know, it seems for my blood sugar, keeps it steady or drops it a little bit. And I actually go for a low sugar wine.
Okay. I'm trying to. I do the sugar free stuff. I got that American whatever that stuff Walmart sells in the big bottles like that.
Oh,
that 0 calorie,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 0 calorie. Hopefully, I can phase into like flavored seltzer because that doesn't have any kind of that diet junk in it.
Right.
That'll hurt you in the long run.
Right. Well, I mean,
aspartame.
Right. Well, and not to get into a gamer's health topic, which you could probably tune in for tomorrow if you want to hear. But when I was in the hospital with my congestive heart failure, I had a dietitian or a nutritionist who would you had to choose. You had a good menu you could choose your food from, but if I went beyond my carbs, I was getting a phone call at my hospital room, and then he was like, you're drinking diet soda, and I go, and I know it's carb free, but your body still can think of it and interpret it as if there are carbs in it, as if it's sugar. So even though it's sugar free, you can still spike. I went, oh, this is lovely. Now, have I cut it out? Of course not. But Flint, no soda or tea for me. Trying to keep the kidney stones away. I've had kidney stones.
I've had pancreas stones. Those aren't fun either. Especially when they found a little cancer in there for a little side, for a little spice,
a little extra. Why don't you take a little cancer on the side? We'll just drop it in for you. You'll hardly notice.
Take two of this small.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's like
let's talk con for a minute.
Oh, definitely.
You want to hear something funny?
Sure.
This evening, Gage just stayed over. I'm gonna take him home tomorrow, but he stayed over specifically to help us with the garage, which is not done yet. So he's going to come back next weekend because we paid him for it. But anyway, I said, "Are you going to get some games for the con?" I said, "Oh yeah, I got to do that." So he goes on there, and I had already got the games I wanted. I'm running one and playing in two. That's all I wanted. I wanted some time to run stuff if I want to, or schmooze, or whatever I want to do.
Right.
And I said, "You got your game?" She says, "You got your games?" He said, "Yeah." "How many?" 7. Oh, you're going to do that again, huh? Yeah. I think it's 7 or 9 or some huge, because he's linked to my account on there. I think my email address. And so I get his receipt. And I'm looking at like, I'm not even going to see you this con weekend, am I? You're just going to be going from game to game to game. Oh man, youth! I tell you, isn't it wonderful?
Well, it's wasted on the youth, man. That's the whole problem. Youth is wasted on the young. Once you get older, you can appreciate it. You're like, I'm too old for youth now.
That's true.
I could use it. I could use what they got. I think
as that guy said in "It's a Wonderful Life," youth is wasted on the wrong people.
There you go. Does that turn? If you've never been to a convention, I will.
Well, you should.
North Texas, if you've never been to one, is likely the one that you'd want to go to. Very hospitable, very
that is the number one con I will pick if somebody's never been there and it's a starter con. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let this be your first one because you're never going to forget it, and everything else is going to go downhill by that time.
Dave, welcome. By the way, you're not the only one in the UK time zone tonight. Graham is with you.
Hello, Dave.
I'm suffering with you.
Sorry I missed the chat last night, but hey, sometimes okay. I do.
I bowed out early last night in the chat.
Did you?
Well, I was for Social Security this morning, but then I overslept, so I didn't.
We were out at dinner. We went to Genghis Grill.
Genghis Grill.
Hello, Mr. Woodard. Hope to see you someday at North Texas.
All right. So what is
this guy
Grill?
Genghis Grill. It's a Mongolian barbecue place.
Okay, I just needed.
It's a chain out.
I just needed that.
It's a chain out. It's a chain out here.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll accept that. My brain couldn't interpret it. It was like Genghis Grill.
Yeah. You like Genghis Khan?
No, I know. That's why. That's why my brain couldn't figure it out. It's like Genghis Grill, not Genghis Khan. I am confused. But it happens to the best of us. It's actioned in Eastern Tennessee. Okay.
So Gage will be in your Fuzzy Heroes game.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think I want to say 3 games, which is a lot for me. But I'm also in a couple of like seminars I'm showing up at. I like the seminars. The 7 a.m. broadcast seminar is going to be a painful one.
Ouch. Are we going to be getting on the mic during the con? I mean, you can always grab me.
We're going to be doing live streams. There'll be a live stream
all the time.
There'll be a live stream on Wednesday night, talking crit, myself, Bad Mike, and anybody who walks up to our table. We don't turn people away. You can act stupid. We don't care.
Unless it's Mr. Spawn.
In which case, no topless. It's a children's show. That's not a children's show, but Thursday is the I believe the whiskey tasting.
Yeah.
Friday will be technically the Triple D live stream. So I would expect to see you on Friday night.
I'm running my game at 11 o'clock that morning. So yeah, I'll be around.
All right. So yeah. So then Glenn and I in 2 weeks from the con, plus whoever sits with us, I don't.
Did you say you said Friday, right?
Friday. We do Friday.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I know we do Fridays, but the con is something different,
Yeah, I know, but I like to keep some continuity. And by the way, I don't want to upset anybody who's watching. If you enjoyed our Friday special last year, one of our live stream guests is no longer going to be a guest at North Texas. So if you're looking forward to seeing Vince Florio, he will not be on any of our live streams.
Got the eyebrow again. Well, I know for reasons, but
for reasons.
He's probably not even going to come, so I wouldn't worry about
it. After last year, which was and it was like the comeback / apology tour of Vince with the OSR, which I thought was very nice, and I was happy to participate in that. And hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, add to that, when a friend betrays a friend, you don't take it too kindly. So there was a burning of bridges. Let's just say. Let's just put it there.
No comment.
Nah, it's okay.
No, I mean, I know what happened, but I'm not going to.
Oh yeah, no. Like, Glenn, you're not.
Yes,
not
you're right.
Not trying to drag you in.
Doc, you're right. California has some great cons, particularly DundraCon. I've been to many a good con in California when I grew up there. Did I show you my new watch? My new birthday watch?
You got a birthday watch?
Yeah, I got one for my birthday from my sister. See?
You did show it. Yes, it's the one that I couldn't figure out.
It's that binary watch that I got. It's really neat. I thought I'd have trouble reading it, but I don't. Gee, I can add numbers, folks.
Your brain works in binary.
That means I can play Champions and D&D. Hello, Tammy.
Tommy, welcome back from Oz.
Or should I say, how you doing?
Now, Zatrin, you're talking about Eastern Tennessee not being a great area for finding gaming groups. I live within the 5 boroughs of New York City, and if I want to play 5e, I can certainly play 5e. Finding an old school group is not so easy. So when I do my old school gaming, I do it online. We use Discord and Roll20, and that's generally how we roll. So
I live near a couple of game stores, so I don't worry about it. If I ever lose my mind and want to play 5e. So I mean GM 5e. I play 5e now, but I play 5e, but it's a good game.
Wait. It's a good game of 5e?
Yes.
That's heresy. You're speaking heresy. I
know.
I can't hear you, Glenn.
I'll let you. Well, at the con, I'll let you talk to Carlos, who is coming this year, who is our GM, who is running 5e Eberron. In fact, Matt Evans is going to be there too, so you can talk to both my GMs.
I heard 5e. No, I actually played a session of 5e at ShireCon.
Look,
here's the time.
You had a good time?
I had a good time, but I still have no idea what my character did. I had a 5th level monk, Snoopy, and I had like 8 pages of shit in front of me, and I went, I can't figure all the shit out. What do I can attack? I have a flying doghouse. I can figure this out.
I gotta say, 5e did a really good job with the monk and the barbarian. I played both.
Okay.
And as far as me playing 5e, yes, a game. Sometimes I'll play a game I don't like. Mainly because everybody else is playing it, and if I don't play it, I don't play.
Right.
So you gotta kind of roll with the punches sometime.
Well, now, and that brings up an interesting topic, because I can play a system that I don't like, but I've heard people say I'm playing in a bad campaign. It really sucks, but it's better than no gaming at all. And that's like saying you're in a bad relationship and it really sucks, but it's better than being in no relationship. It's abusive. It is emotionally draining, but it's better than not being in any relationship. I'd rather not be in bed. I'd rather pass in a relationship if my choice is a bad one. And if my choice is a bad campaign where I am not getting fun out of it, then I'll step away and I can have productive gaming time that isn't part of a game session. And then I'll find a game group that will fit my. I mean, the internet gives you that opportunity. The internet means that you're not stuck with the geographical circle.
That's right.
That's around you.
And you know what? That's how the solo gaming world gets players.
Yeah. We should be bringing Matt Jackson in as a special guest. Matt can talk all the solo gaming you want. But
I don't care. I don't care for solo gaming. To me, it's kind of mental masturbation.
Well, I understand that. I can relate to that part of it.
Yeah. I'm not gaming Onan. Look it up, folks. Anyway. Are you okay? Are you okay?
But, you okay? Am I okay? Are you okay? I took creative writing in college, and Professor Titel. He was actually very good. A little bit of a hippie, but he was good with the creative writing stuff. And his whole thing was, if you are writing for yourself, if you're not concerned about your audience, it is mental masturbation. And he goes, and if you're going to do mental masturbation, just stay at home, stay in your room, and just come out to to eat and use the facilities. But if you're going to write and actually make it worth your time and while, you have to think about your audience.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't draw as much.
Really?
Yeah. Cross my palm with silver, and we'll talk.
Push silver, folks. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. If you want to get Glen, it's silver and gold. Glen's a good artist.
Besides, if I solo game, there's no way I'm not going to cheat sometimes.
Oh. Just like when you were playing like the old gold box SSI releases. You died. Well, I don't want to save. Pull that disc. Crash the game.
Yeah.
I don't want permadeath. No
That's
TPK.
right.
Start again. That's just part of everything there. Doc, you have 6 game stores within 5 miles, and none of them are 5e overloaded. Okay.
That's good. But then again, he seldom plays D&D of any edition.
But he runs the editions. Joseph, welcome. Oh, by the way, Joseph, with your avatar, for the longest time, I was like, wow, he's wielding like a Japanese katana. And then I realized that my eyes had deceived me, but I'm dumb. So it's okay. It's okay. Rach will tell you I am not always the sharpest.
Well, I wouldn't hold it against you unless it's a breathtaking blonde.
What can I tell you, man? What can I tell you? St. Cuthbert, 100% Tenkar. If I was in a bad relationship, I would call you to game and save me. There you go. Dude, I'm gonna get me out of this relationship.
I break up with somebody. Yeah. Some of my exes are some things. But if somebody breaks up with me, yeah, I'm bummed, I'm sad, I may cry, but at the same time, I just try and do something else that has nothing to do with dating and nothing to do with the other, with any kind of relationship, like game. Or if I have a job, I'll just, focus on the job, or a show I'm doing maybe. And let me tell you, once I start doing that, then they come out of the woodwork.
Of course.
When I'm not looking for anything.
That, because otherwise you're like, I need it. Oh, get away from me. You're too needy.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be okay there.
I
thought you were healthy now.
No, the allergies aren't totally gone. They're just not preventing me from sleeping anymore. Thank God for that. No, my sleep prevention was my son staying for 2 nights and then leaving at 5:30 in the morning. Of course, I had to get up and take him to the airport. So it's like,
But I should have saved some of this for tomorrow. I always need my caffeine fix, and I don't like drinking coffee.
Oh, really? So, Glen, I should show you my secret.
What's that?
Viter energy mints. So each of these mints is equal to a half cup of coffee. So I used to give this to my evening bartender at my pub when it was still open. I ordered these by 6-pack through Amazon, and
nice.
I like the peppermint and I think the wintergreen, but and I'd be like, here you go. It was worth a couple of rounds just by giving her 40. I guess 40 minutes.
Well, I got a game book. I got a game book coming Sunday. So, in fact, next week I got a new phone coming.
A new phone?
Yeah, it started to get really slow and it doesn't hold the charge like it used to. So, I'm going for a Galaxy.
Okay.
This time. This is a ZTE or some weird. It was cheap. But it worked great until like just recently. So I've got Consumer Cellular. They're sending me a new phone.
You remember the old days when you could have an Android phone and replace the battery yourself?
Oh, I could probably still do that, but I feel bad for the iPhone people because can't you? Oh, what's that?
Hold on. My niece is going to do this nonstop. She just got a new kitten on a live stream. She is excited. She got a new kitten.
Cool.
And she wants to FaceTime me. So I know it's going to be about kitten time. Yeah. So now I'm telling her that. So hopefully, call Reed.
Yes, Glenn. Yes, Glenn is an artist, among other things. What's TIL? What does that mean? What's that?
Till I love Glenn. I have no idea.
Well, thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah, Joseph, Rach, and I spent a good portion of yesterday and today. Well, actually, the last couple of days, we spent a lot of time in the garden, getting the garden prepped. Today was trimming bushes, the fig tree.
Oh,
stuff
thank you. Thank you, Doc. You just told me what TIL. Today I learned.
There, right.
Thank you, Doc. I can't keep up with those abbreviations sometimes. I just learned what TLDR is. Too long, didn't read.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I would have gotten it at some point. John D. Online gaming here for the last 21 years, but not playing in person ever again. Certainly not at a store.
That's too bad.
When I used to play at a store, it was with a gaming group that was kind of curated. And we used to pay at the original location. We paid to have one of the two private rooms, so we didn't have to deal with the riffraff. So we just, we paid our $5 each per session or whatever it was, and we had a private room. Then they moved locations, and they only had one private room, and we didn't have priority that night for the private room, so we had to play with the riffraff. And the riffraff meant that we got people walking up, going, "What is this? Oh, can I play?" And of course, you're not supposed to turn anybody away, especially when you're playing Swords and Wizardry, which the store didn't even sell. So of course I'm like, yeah, I've got a 5th level halfling with flies. She's got wings. I got a magical sword of slaying. I went, no, you have none of that. You'll have a new character because no, but this is my stuff. I was like, oh, geez, it's going to be a long session. We canceled the following week just to make sure this person didn't show up again. Mid-20s, and they were calling their mom for a pickup. So I was like, all right, that's okay. We survived it.
Did you really?
Well, barely. All right, Joseph. Thank you for trying to make me not look.
Yeah, thanks.
So stupid. The avatar is styled on Samurai Jack's art style. Okay, so I feel better now for filling in the blanks. That for the longest time, I like that. Like, oh, it's cool. The sword even has a strap, so you can't lose it when you do that weird ass samurai moves with it. But I was totally off and wrong for the longest time. Took me a while to figure that out.
Well, it's not if they're little tiny things, so it's easy to.
They're little avatars. They're little avatars.
Yeah, so it's hard to see,
Always willing to help the young guys out. Thank you, Doc. Usually, at best, we're in the middle of a gaming group.
He's a good egg.
He's a good egg. Sometimes it's sad when you're of an age where somebody in their mid-40s is like, "Wow, you're a youngster." That's like I realize I'm beginning to feel my age, and I'm also beginning to feel the fact that I still haven't gone for a haircut in way too long. My family's telling me I got to get a haircut before I go to North Texas. They're afraid that I won't pass the TSA.
Really?
They might be looking for things in your hair. I'm like, shut up.
My group plays face-to-face in the store every week. Good going, Mr. Woodard. I remember there was a period when Gage was, preteen to teen. I had to go to Game HQ every Saturday early because he had to play Pokemon.
There you go.
So he says, Grandpa, you can just drop me off and pick me up. Well, he was at the age where, no, I'm going to stay there with you. I'm not letting anything happen to you. I'll just take some game stuff and work on it.
As opposed to the age where it's like, Grandpa, drop me off around the corner and pick me up 2 blocks away at the Big Whopper, because I don't want anybody seeing you anywhere near the store.
Well, he never did that, but okay. I understand that.
I remember that stage. It's like, oh, you can't drop me right off right in front. All my friends will know that I don't drive.
So, what kind of trouble are you getting into this week with Tenkar's Tavern? I haven't been keeping up.
Trouble?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was how can I say this kindly? There is somebody, a Matthias.
That guy.
Yeah, Iron Twat or whatever, who decided that me and my friends, my cohorts, are all Nazi sympathizers. That's the last that they heard. So, and then also through Shane Kelsey.
You know what? This crony, I'm a man of peace, but this crony will crony all over your face with my fist if I ever see you.
Well, and that's
for saying that.
Right. And that's the whole thing too, right? I mean, listen, I am used to certain people, I'm not going to name, saying shit about me constantly in their walled gardens, which is why I did a video on. You don't have walled gardens on the internet, folks. I mean, I know that people talk about it. Like, I got my walled garden. No, you don't. Because inside your walled garden, you have people who are, maybe they're your friend, but they're a friend of other people too. And they go, oh, they're talking shit about Glenn. Screenshot. Hey, did you know that Jackass and Jacko were saying this about you? I get that all the time. I ignore well over 90% of it. I just don't. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. This shit is said because people are intimidated by me. And why is that? Because I cannot be controlled. Just like Glenn can speak his mind, I will speak
Which
my
I don't.
mind. Yeah, mostly. But he could. Mostly, but he could.
My likes and dislikes are something different. I don't get political. I don't get activist. I just don't like it, so I don't do it.
Well, here's the thing.
I have my opinions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I usually keep them to myself.
Well, here's the issue with many of the more extreme individuals, left or right. The belief is that I have influence. I am an influencer before that even became a term. All right, because I was told this years ago. And I use my powers, my influence for the powers of good as they define it. And therefore, since I'm not using my powers, my influence, in a manner that they desire, I am therefore a Yahtzee. I am therefore a woke piece of shit. Depends on the side, because Tenkar, I think I think Grim Jim said it best like maybe it'd be 2 years ago. Tenkar is so neutral, it's almost pathological. And I was like,
good for him.
Thank you.
That's the second person who's mentioned you. The other one was Professor Dungeon Master about a week ago. He mentioned you in one of his
one of my videos. Well, I think I was talking about one of his videos.
No, his video he mentioned you.
Yeah, and I mentioned him. I mentioned him prior to that because there was this whole thing about people being butthurt when others do not take their position, whatever it is. And we see it in the gaming circles all the time. And it's sad, right? I mean, because honestly, when I sit down at a game table at a convention, I am not going around and asking everybody, how are you registered to vote? Do you vote? How did you vote in the last election? Oh, I need to know before I can sit down and play with you. No. Be a good gamer. Be somebody that's fun to be around. Don't be an asshole. I'll have a good time at my game. Bad Mike tells a story that after the 2016 election, they were getting phone calls. Hey, I need to know, or emails. I need to know how all my DMs voted. I can't play at a table somebody who voted for Trump. We're not doing a survey at a convention to see how people voted, but this is a litmus test that is being done by the political extremes. And if you are someone who's in the middle, if you are someone who's just left of the middle, just right of the middle, middle of the middle, you're going to be hated by both extremes because you're not an ally of either, right? Most people don't want to get into this shit.
I would refer them to the DMG page, None of Your Effing Business.
I mean, I always say games should be the commonality that brings us together, right?
Yeah.
Whether you are black, white, Hispanic, Asian, indigenous, whether you are, I don't know, I hate using that term cisgender, whether you're cisgendered, whether you have an alternative lifestyle, whether you are bi, gay, lesbian, trans, identify however you want. We sit down at the gaming table. I'm not looking at you and going, oh, well, that person is no, that person is playing a paladin. All right, that one's the dwarven cleric. That's how I'm identifying you at the game table, right? And if you're playing like an assassin, I'm going to be like, oh, this person's going to be a dick to everybody. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not looking at you and judging you based upon your social stature, your color, how you identify gender-wise. It's all inconsequential. We're about gaming. And that really, in a gaming community, what should we be looking at each other for? Our gaming conversations and what we share in common from that.
Playing,
conversing, enjoying. That's what brings together. That's why gaming is so special. That's why when I was in high school, anybody who wanted to game was part of our gaming group. We weren't turning away anybody because, oh, well, that can't have any Jewish people at our table. Can't have any women. Can't have any blacks. Can't have any. We've had everybody at our gaming at our game sessions. We weren't judging anybody by that stuff. Were you a good gamer? That's all that mattered. Were you fun to spend time around?
Yeah,
and that's all that should matter now. I can't live listen. Some people live their life 24/7 as activists for whatever their cause is. God bless you. If you have that much energy and you have that much drive, 90% of the population doesn't have it. They don't care about your causes. They don't care about your activism. You're never going to convince them because they have more important things to do. In our case, gaming. And for many people, it's living their life and doing their job and having their, 2 beers after work or sitting down with their family to waste time mentally, emotionally on issues that aren't important to them. And because they aren't important to them, your activism will never be important to them. So that's where the divide happens, I think. It's just the two extremes. They act the same. They act like, look at me, I'm going to change minds. You're not going to change any minds. Nobody's mind's going to get changed. That's why elections are always close to, it's like Christmas presidential elections are never overwhelming. An overwhelming election is 55-45. It's really pretty much down the middle because that's where the country is split, right down the middle, because most of us vote not based upon a candidate that we like. It's like, which one's least offensive to me? That sucks when your political parties suck that badly. That's as political as I'm going to get it. But it really is.
Well, I agree with you, but I don't know. It just and there have been times when I had to really bite my internet tongue to not say something. And Also, I feel that I can make statements without backing them up. Now that sounds pretty bad, but at the same time, that's why I don't make statements or say my opinions. Even if you ask for them, I probably wouldn't, because I don't want to get in a debate with you. Okay? No. I'm not here for a debate. I'm here for a game. I'm here to talk to you. And if you can't talk civil to me, I'll turn around and go away.
All right. I mean,
have a civil, back and forth.
I mean, that's why I have the issue with the word problematic, because the word problematic gets dropped, and when you ask people to define it, oh, well, you can look it up yourself. You can find out why the problem. No. Don't take the lazy man's way out. Don't just like take a shit on my doorstep and then go, oh, well, no, you can clean that up. Don't worry about it. Just explain it. That's why problematic is such a horrible, shitty word, because people just drop it. And even at the end of this, when the jackass kind of went, oh, well, I hadn't looked at Tenkar in years. Bullshit. And if he's no longer problematic, again, that fucking word, it's people that are extremes. And I understand there are people that have their own personal opinion of me. They're entitled to it. Our interactions didn't go the way they wanted or they expected. They're entitled to their opinions. I'm not going to say, I might say I disagree with their opinion, but doesn't make their opinion invalid in their eyes. No. They got their experience with me. They didn't like it. I understand that.
Okay, this is a little paranoid of me. But one reason I'm so, don't talk about this stuff, because I feel like if I do put something out there, some people are going to like it. Now, I can deal with people not liking me or what I say. What I can't deal with is people not liking me that can actually impact my life.
Okay.
That's mainly why I don't do it, because I don't want there to be anybody out there who, I don't know, just used to know what I'm saying. They may have something over me or something.
I mean, listen, I'm retired. Okay, I don't make much money off the hobby. Yeah. So Rachel's retired. I know somebody tried to threaten her job, but she was already retired. It was an old job anyway that they were referring to. Yes, people will do that. People will certainly attack you. I mean, what's said about me? Again, I ignore the vast majority until you pull my friend, my community, into the scuffle. Because now it's no longer, if it's personal, it's personal, whatever. You do what you want. But now you're dragging potentially, I don't know, well over 3,000 people in my Facebook group, about 2,500 in my Discord, the nearly 3,000 follow the YouTube channel. These are, I'm not, and then my co-hosts, my friends in the community that I converse with, and people get upset because like, oh well, Tenkar is friends with James Raggy. Okay. I'm friends with a lot of people. I'm friends with, and James is problematic, but they won't tell you why James is problematic. Just look it up. That was another one. But is he problematic because he is viewed as a lefty or a righty? Because I don't think James is viewed as either side. He's just James. He's a force of nature. I look forward to meeting him. Am I problematic because I had Kelsey on? Or is that problematic for her? She's an up-and-coming, rising star. She is a star right now. She rose, and she is high in the sky. She had an amazing Kickstarter, and she paid her dues before the Kickstarter, writing for 5e, writing in the DMs Guild. She didn't come into this from out of nowhere. To think that she didn't do her due diligence before showing on the show with Mike and I is an insult to her. And that's why another reason why I had to respond, because it wasn't me that they were attacking, right? They were attacking people associated with me, people that I consider my friends. You don't attack my friends. It really doesn't work out well. Zatran, I got into a little bit of a Discord scuffle involving your name and Nazi BS and Chuds and whatnot earlier. I'm quite sure you did.
I'm sorry about that.
You know, I would love to see where the Nazi shit comes from. Aside from me, being a retired cop, I'm making no secret of that. Besides the fact that I spent my last 12 years in internal affairs, make no secret.
Well, I don't really. Aside from I threatened iron fart, a moment ago, but that's mostly like leave my friends alone, leave me alone. But the word Yahtzee to me is being thrown around so much that it's like saying the F word constantly. It just starts not having any meaning, and
right.
If you're so, I don't worry about that.
I mean, my personal history of my family, my father's side, my father and his brother grew up, were born in war-torn Europe in the early 40s. And I still remember the story of my grandmother because telling me the Germans, the SS, it was the Waffen SS. I've now watched enough videos on World War II to understand the different units. Were recruiting, Germans that were living in other countries. Like they were in Austria, then it was Yugoslavia, but they were ethnic Germans, and they were now recruiting. The war wasn't going well. They were recruiting locals, and they were recruiting them either for like the local militia or as prison guards. So my grandfather decided, I'm not going for any of that shit, and he decided to take his hunting rifle and said, I'll be in the woods for the next 6 months to a year. So Germans came to the farm they were living on, shot up the barn, then they searched it, and then they told my grandmother, you will find your husband, because if you don't, we're going to come back and shoot your son. That was my father. And then 2 days later, we'll come back and we'll shoot you, and we'll still find your husband. So he turned himself in and was put into an SS prison, not a camp. The man was built like you, Glenn, and he came out weighing
skinny and old.
Well, no, but he was a big
after
guy.
After he came out, he looked like
he was under 100 pounds. He was like 6'2", under 100 pounds when he got released from the prison. Now his brother, seeing what was going on, said, "Sign me up," and he served on the Eastern Front. Was taken prisoner and never heard of again. So my family does not have a great interaction with the World War II era Yahtzees. My mother's side of the family was here already. They were fighting in Europe. So I take it personal when this shit gets thrown around because it is personal. And when you attack my friends, this is my extended family, my community. You get me pissed off. Zatran, you got banned from 2 Discords over it. Well,
I'm sorry about that.
Well, no, I'm not sorry because they were probably pretty shitty Discords. You probably are better off not being there. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but again, Joseph, you were better off not being in those places. So. Let me go, Doc. Okay, Doc, you've been banned.
You've been banned by Twitter. Wow.
Twitter perma banned me and your late dog. Holy shit! Well, that's
everybody gets banned from Twitter at one time or another.
Geek Nerd Game. Look at these 2 old bags of Sofa King Grump Fabulous. Hope you were good, Glenn and Eric. Yes, thank you.
I am
Grump
great.
Fabulous is a new word for me. I like it though. Yes, Flint. Wait, assassins only kill when they're paid to? I thought some of them enjoyed their work. I used to run AD&D 1E, and I had an assassin in my party who insisted on trying to assassinate during encounters. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. But you know what? You argued it out anyway. D&D players can't be racist. We were the nerds. We couldn't turn anyone away.
I've been there. And there are some people I regretted having at my table. And it had nothing to do with politics or anything. Just, I regretted it. Let me put it that way.
And the whole thing too is like when you're gaming. Like my first gaming experience at a convention was eye-opening because I gamed in steady groups. And steady groups, whether it was up in the Poconos in my summer times and my weekends or my steady group in New York, you got to know how everybody interacted, and if a new player was being added, they were being added by friends of the group. You go to a convention, you're with a bunch of strangers, it's a whole different experience. You've got to make those bonds within those first 5 or 10 minutes and figure out, is this person going to have my back or that person going to have my back? It really, if you haven't learned people skills from playing in your local groups, if you haven't learned how to make friends and influence others in your first con game.
I mean, it's great for young people to learn. It helps them learn these things, interacting with people and all that other stuff. But there are a certain percentage of people who already come damaged.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get any better while as they're role playing.
No, and those are the people that you kind of filter out of the group slowly. Usually, it becomes I've had the I can't. I'm done. I think we're done, man. We're done with D&D. We're not going to game anymore. And everybody's like, we are? Yeah, we're done. It's like, all right. I guess that's it, man. No game next week. And you're all walking out, waiting for that one player. Like, all right. That was all for him. Next week we're at Tommy's house. Nobody tell him. Yeah. But we'll start a new campaign, so it's not the same old campaign.
I've had to kick somebody out of a group once, and it was not pleasant.
No,
but it had to be done. Everybody was getting irritated with him. And then in about a month or so, I brought Gage to the Pokemon tournament, and he shows up in another group at the store. Hey, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? So anyway.
Ross, the extremists aren't okay with anything except compliance with their bullying. The thing is, the extremists they don't see it as bullying. They see this as, I am doing something that is righteous. That's why it's really fucking annoying. If it was simple bullying, you'd be like, they're a bully, they're an asshole. No, they believe that they're answering to a higher calling. It's almost religious. And that's why it is so insidious. It is so in your face because it is the new world religion. Politics on the extreme sides. I don't really believe that anyone on the extreme side of politics, left or right, believes in a higher power. I don't care how you believe. I happen to believe in a higher power, but I don't believe that you can afford to do so if politics and the issues associated with it rule your life, because that's what you're worshiping.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. And that's
not going to argue with
that. Joseph, my first game was traumatic because of bigotry. I was 9.
Wow.
And so was the DM, to be fair. And Joseph, we've spoken a bit about this. Rach went through it too. Yeah, when you are albino, you are different. It's not just a visual loss, but people and kids are always like, why is that person different? And if you stick out, kids can be the kindest and kids can be assholes. They don't mean to be assholes. They're just little pieces of shit sometimes.
And they grow up to be big turds, right?
Yes. Geek Nerd Game. I care more about your drow and their political leanings than your
they political leanings.
Yeah. Oh, and they not. Good. I like that. Joseph, my policy that if anyone brings bigotry to the table, it leaves. They do or I do. However, bigotry might happen in a game because if we're role playing a real world, it'll have real world problems. Exactly, and that's fine, as long as it's not aimed between the players. And yes, there are sadly, bigotry is one of those things that usually those that speak the loudest against it are the ones that are also dishing it out on their own. But I can't be one. Yeah, you can. You know, Don, the bullshit can affect you as some can believe the bullshit. And that is true.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
I've
mean.
had people, go, well, yeah, I've heard that Tenkar is problematic. Okay, well, did anybody explain to you why? No. But he's problematic. That's the word on the street is Tenkar is problematic. Yeah, I am a problem to people who screw other people over with their Kickstarters. I think I'm problematic in that case. And I will call people on the shit. I don't talk in walled gardens about people, right? I don't like the Whisper Network doesn't exist here.
Good idea.
If there's a problem with you, or I have a problem, it comes out. And we know we have an active group of in our live stream because I'm 10 minutes behind. I am trying to catch up. If I don't get your thing on the screen, don't even know what it means when they say it's problematic. You're right, Don, but that's just it's the lazy man's argument. That's what it comes down to. Glenn never used the word "I apologize" as a public figure ever. Laugh out loud.
Okay, then I'll just say "F you."
There you go. Actually,
I'll take a page out of your book.
You know what? I have apologized publicly for something that I never intended to be a slight, and it was.
I gotta own my crap.
Yeah, you fall on the sword. I'll be honest with you. And if you fall on the sword, and it's not like 2 weeks later, if you fall on the sword and it's within like 24 hours, like you find out what happened, you're like, oh, shit. I really had no intention that this was going to offend anybody. I am sorry it did. And I apologize because it was never my intent. And I couldn't feel worse than I currently do. And that was something.
Well,
I had to apologize with the Tournament of Rapists adventure that was up on drive-through. Like
Tournament of Rapists.
Tournament of Rapists. That was a horrible name for it.
When was this?
Oh my god, almost 10 years ago. And
wow.
I covered it on the blog side, and I was covering the controversy, and I did something that I am known to do on occasion: make a stupid joke. No, I made a stupid joke.
Oh.
And the joke was found to be personally offensive to somebody who was the victim of rape. And it was never, never thought of it as that potential. And when they reached out and to me and said, I was like, I could just apologize one-on-one, or I could apologize publicly. And I apologized publicly because a one-on-one apology doesn't really hold all that much weight. If I'm going to apologize for something I said publicly that hurt somebody unintentionally, but once I reread what I wrote, I went, oh man, I really stepped with that in 2 fucking feet, didn't I? You apologize.
Happens.
It happens. But you got to own it. If you don't own it, if you do that Hollywood half-assed apology or that political half-assed apology, you're not owning shit. If a lawyer has to write your apology, it ain't worth shit. And that's just what happens.
True. Oh boy, we're having like a therapy session tonight, folks.
Yeah, there you go. Yahtzee
we're getting all our angst out in one night. Yeah.
Yahtzee needs to mean what it means. Not, I don't like your lack of support for my politics. That is true.
That's true.
To be clear, nobody there called. Nobody there called you a Nazi. Someone mentioned that people on the right
you said it.
People, I know, and smear them for their political opinions. And I said that both sides. It is a both sides thing. And use a smear of Kelsey for palling around with you because of the Yahtzee sympathizer insult that Ironstar douche used. it went downhill from there. Again, Kelsey, I couldn't have asked the greater powers to connect me with somebody, I don't know, more fun to talk with, more creative, and more honorable than Kelsey. So she's a great connection. I consider her a friend, and I just really met her. But that's my honor to meet her. So really to turn my honor into a smear campaign was bullshit. But Kelsey stays clear of politics too, and I did give her the heads up that because you steer clear of politics, you are going to get smeared by those that are jealous of your success and those that feel you have an influence that you are not using for their goals, but they feel that your goals should be what their goals are. You need to follow them.
You see, this is one reason why I don't have success, or much success, I should say. I try and stay under the radar. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
Don, when I defended you, I was called a Yahtzee too. And what's ludicrous about that, on my mother's side, we lost a large part of our family at Treblinka. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and that could be. That's
a dig. That's a dig.
That's a dig. Flint, you grew up in Brooklyn. Oh, God bless you. My father grew up in Ridgewood. I spent a lot of time out in Ridgewood, just on the border of Brooklyn. My father, though, he wasn't raised. He was born in Yugoslavia. Ethnic German. Came over when he was 5. By the time he was 20, he had a Brooklyn accent like you wouldn't believe. He took speech lessons back then to lose his Brooklyn accent. I would have been proud.
So did Vito Corleone.
Yep. Oh my God, we're only 9 minutes behind. Joseph Carter, I've been politically everything. You can't
people is people.
When I've been at your party, shrug. What am I now? Disgusted. Well, listen. There's a saying that like when you're young, if you aren't liberal, then there's something wrong with you. Listen, when I was young, I
seem to remember reading in Mad Magazine about this. It says, when you're young, you should be liberal because of, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, you get to a certain age, you must change to be conservative. You have assets to protect now.
Well, I mean, when I was young, when I was in college, I participated in the takeover of Queens College due to tuition hikes and budget cutbacks. And then when we gave up Queens College, I hopped into a car with 2 complete strangers to go down to John Jay College because John Jay, they weren't going to give up the fight. They were going to, oh my God. I went to protest with the New York Public Interest Research Group, NIPERG. I wasn't a socialist or a communist, but I was certainly well to the left. Now, as I grew, I centered more, but you center more. And is it protecting your wealth? I don't know so much about that. I think it becomes you learn more life experiences, and your life experiences are oftentimes beatdowns or you're a crime victim or whatever. That all shapes who you become. And then, strangely enough, when I became a cop, I probably shifted more left than I had been, only because of the neighborhoods I worked with. When you work in like the South Bronx and you can rightfully interact with people, that 98, 99% are law-abiding people in the worst neighborhood, the worst zip code in the country at the time, the most poverty-stricken. The vast majority of the people were law-abiding and were happy to see you. And that was when you realize who you were working for. And you realize that the way, welfare and public assistance is set up is kind of not necessarily for their benefit because it gives them a hole they can't dig out of. So I think that most of us, when it comes to politics, are somewhere in this grayish, middle-ish area, depending on the topic at hand. And that's why the extremes hate us, because they can't peg us. Yes, kids are psychos. Good night, David.
Of course. Good night, Dave.
Already because I'm like 10 minutes behind in this shit.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, I don't say shit behind the back. I'd have to pay Glenn to tell me to fuck. Oh, I'd pay Glenn. Well, Glenn will tell you to fuck off.
I need another revenue stream. Yes.
Yeah. You want to be told to fuck off? $10 on PayPal, or you can mail $10 in a plain white envelope to the following PO box.
Yeah, code-fee at .com/oldmangrognard.
Yep. Yes, Grok. I apologize for stuff if I'm wrong. Falling on the sword is an honorable thing. And I did it as a cop, and I saw it done as a cop, and it's kind of like I've got this shit stuck in my arm. I'm impaled. I can leave it there and let it fester and get gross and infected, or I can rip it out and start letting it heal. I'll rip it out and let it.
You're good at whipping it out. Oh, you said rip it out.
Whip it out. Can we do this
good?
Yes.
That's me.
Humans are dumb. Listen, the best dumb thing I ever said was, and if we're not demonetized yet, we'll probably get there now. Before we did these, before I was doing live streams, before I had the Discord channel, we used to do hangouts on my blog on Thursday nights in a chat wing. And you could do live chat on the blog interface. And the topic of Gil Gygax came up, and I made 2 Gil Gygax jokes. One is not funny. It had something to do with burning rubber bricks. It was not funny whatsoever.
I remember that. That.
The other one, I am very proud of to this day. However, it's been misremembered by Gail. She claims that I called her the C word. I never did.
Yeah, I remember that.
I did, however, joke that if she could trademark the word, she would have. Because she's the one who was trying to trademark Gygax. I'm still proud of that joke. I don't know, 8 years later.
Sure, why not? Say sorry for all that age press wood and call bookshelves. Geek, fuck off. I'll bill you. There, you got one.
Uh-oh.
Hey, look, we move a lot. If it was either that or bricks and boards. I still have them in the garage. I got to have some place to put my movies and Blu-rays.
That works.
And my gaming stuff, just gaming stuff too. I got another one right there. I got a lot of crap. But we all collect crap, whether it's gaming or movies or whatever. So, anyway.
Look at the Glenn. I caught up in the chat. I'm
boy.
I'm doing that Home Alone face.
One person we haven't seen tonight is Bad Mike. Oh, thank you, Geek. We just got $10.
I got to do that Home Alone face more often.
Hey, $10. That goes into the Tenkar's kitty.
Yes, and the kitty just goes right back to this channel.
You're welcome, you masochistic little guy.
Yeah, it keeps us, my co-hosts, our equipment. I think Bad Mike needs a new headset. I swear to God, his headset is.
I should have not said anything because I was going to say the first one's free, but hey, the group got $10. So
there you got it. Hey, but yeah,
that's very rare.
I love the live stream. I love the Friday night live streams, whether it's me and Glenn or me and the random party generator, because
or you and Joe.
Well, that's a random party now. Now it's Joe and Rob Conley and
all these guys.
All these guys, because we don't script it out. We don't even come like, what are we gonna talk about? It's like, I don't know. It's 30. Just go live. Rob Conley does prep work. He always has like, I've got things ready to come up on screen. He's got his great backdrop. The rest of us don't do any prep work. And why is that?
Yeah.
Because we get to improv off the live stream. The live streams are very active on Friday nights. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I guess if we were younger, we'd be out.
They love us. They love us.
It would be date night, but if we were younger, but now we're old and in our decrepit 50s and 60s, and now it's like, I want to be online.
Thank you, sir. I should stop by sometime to be part of a random party.
Whatever you want to, Glenn. You tell me when.
You say that, but anyway.
I say it. Listen, Rob felt insulted when I jokingly told him he couldn't come on to the Kelsey interview with Mike and I told him, I was like, I was joking. He just wanted to come on to say, thank you for for sponsoring a beautiful game. The only problem is, and listen, this is a critique, and it doesn't matter which of us are doing it. Like when we had Phil Reed on the RPG last week, or when Glenn and I had Alex McCree on, or Macris, I always get it mixed up.
Yeah.
Or Mike and I had Kelsey on. None of us are. Listen, if you want to turn me into an interviewer, you're going to get the person who interviewed for 20 years. You don't want the type of interview that I would participate in as a cop. We have guests. That means that we're sitting down at our local pub, although it's on your screen, and we're talking and bullshitting back and forth. And then we're taking comments and questions from the peanut gallery, because that's where the lively shit's happening. But, honestly, if you're tuning into one of the live streams and expecting a guest to do all the talking, some of them will, if that's their personality. Certainly. But most of them just want to hang out and chill, and they have a great time. And
like the Thursday Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. And they have a great time when you get like a PM the next morning going, holy shit, that was awesome. I'd be happy to come back. You know what? It's about the guest, right? And it's about the audience, but it's about having the guest feel comfortable enough that they're like, wow, that wasn't like a normal interview where I'm hit with the 20 questions that are already pre-written and it's got a script going on to some extent that has to be kept to. We just run with it, and it's, I've spoken with other content creators in our little community, and the one thing that always comes up, I think Professor Dion was the first one to mention it to me, but I've heard from others now, is I can't believe you do 3 live streams a week. I'm like, why? Because the potential to fuck up is so huge. And I mean, I don't know. I don't see that as a huge potential.
I shall try a solo live stream sometime. I won't tell anybody. I'll just go on and see who shows up. I think what he's saying, misunderstood. No, I didn't misunderstand, Geek. I just pulling your chain.
By the way,
thank you anyway.
The Shannon with the fat Eric Hartman. That's my niece, Shannon. Hey, girl. I know. Answer my calls. I can't answer your calls when I'm live. Yo, I will call you back, and hopefully you called Auntie. But busting my balls are getting busted by my niece.
There you go.
It
happens. I'll bet Geek even listens to Radio Grognard. How about that?
I hope so. If you're one of the best,
I hope so too.
If you're one of the best things in the hobby, Glenn, I am assuming that he does watch.
Well, you know what we did last Sunday?
What?
This is remarkable. We actually taped an episode of Thaco's Hammer. Finally.
Nice. You gotta let me know when it's up. You're leaving this geek in suspense here, Glenn. You're leaving this geek in suspense.
Well, keep your ear to the ground and see. I don't know how Brian does it. I don't know. I mean, we've got a Thakos Hammer Facebook page. You should probably follow that. I don't do it with anything with it. Brian runs the whole thing. So yeah. Besides, I didn't know I didn't know until like a month ago or a few months ago, he had his own podcast for his other hobby, Confessions of a Video Game Addict. He works at an arcade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a fun.
Yeah. One of 4 jobs he has.
Is he Jamaican? And that's,
no.
By the way, that's a Mad TV joke. I'm allowed to say it.
Okay. Well, no, he's not Jamaican. He has a girlfriend and a kid to provide for.
Okay.
Was ist Radio Grognard?
Was ist Radio Grognard? You tell them now.
I will give you the link, Eric, and you can put it up, okay?
You put the link in the private chat. I will take the link from the private chat and put the link on channel, on screen for people.
Yeah, StreamYard should work on that. In fact, it's now called, when I switched to longer format, it is now Radio Grognard King Size.
Oh. El Grande Radio Grognard.
El Grande. Yeah. You're like, I feel like I'm a bandito in a spaghetti western when I do that. There you go.
All right. I see in private chat. I will take from private chat. Put in chat.
There you go.
See, we have occasionally.
Yes, it is. Thank you. I now do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 3 times a week.
Folks, if you ever ask, how do you do it? What are some of the tools to make yourself successful with a blog or a podcast or YouTube channel? Get a schedule, just so people know when to find your stuff. For me, it's daily. Glenn, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And
I started, I mean, I've got 1,600 episodes out there. I was doing it daily, but I just kind of got burned out at it. Yes, the Docverse podcast. Everybody go listen to the Docverse. See, we'll plug your stuff on here.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Games, podcasts, you name it.
All right, so here's the link for Glenn. Radio Grognard KS.
King size. Yeah, I went from like 5 minutes or so to like 15 to 20. And it is a lot easier to do. It is a lot easier to do, but when I first started with the longer podcasts, it was like I'm burning through topics like crazy and like 1 or 2 episodes. I better slow down. That's why I'm constantly looking on YouTube, the gaming stuff on YouTube, to figure out what I want to talk about all the time.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not trying to steal from anybody, but sometimes somebody will put on something that makes me think. And I'll go, I watched this guy's I watched this guy's YouTube channel, and it got me thinking, here's my take on it. Hey, and you have kittens.
Yes, kittens. The kid has kittens. Well, Glenn, early days of the OSR Blogverse, you worked off each other's stuff. Rob Connolly writes about something in the attic, and then you do a follow-up post on your blog, and then you'd link it on theirs.
Well, I got sick of seeing people who are doing answers to other people's videos. It's like, why don't you just tell me your take? I don't want to have to go back and look at the original video, what the guy did. I'm just going to say, this guy talked like this about this, and here's what I think about it. I'll just give a quick, he said this is what I say type of thing. And I got tons of reviews on Old Man Grognard on YouTube. And they're all good reviews. Sounds weird, but they're all good reviews. Because life is too short to do a bad review. If I don't like it, I won't do anything. And to me, my philosophy is no matter what I'm reviewing, no matter how bad you think it is, there's always something you can take away from the game. Always something I look for things. There's always something I can use in a game. And not that game, maybe, but my game.
Right.
That's how you come up with stuff. I've stolen from at least 3 places already. And yeah, that's basically what I do.
Okay.
And lately I've been watching videos to get rid of the ums and uhs in my podcasts. Yeah. And I don't really do ums and uhs. What I do is my brain starts thinking about it and gets so overloaded. I just go, by the way,
That's all, folks.
Yeah, Spotify for podcasters. That's Anchor now. Half the shows I say Anchor, and it's like, no, wait a minute, Spotify for podcasters. But I had a feeling when they bought Anchor, they were going to do that anyway. We're going to unify everything, Why do you have to? I mean, I'm surprised they let Hasbro let Wizards of the Coast keep their name. And it wasn't Hasbro RPG.
It might turn
or something
into
like that. Who knows? I can't figure those guys out anymore anyway. I'm not even going to try. I've got my old stuff and we're good.
It's all on you, Glenn. You gotta figure it out. Everybody's waiting on you.
And I've slowed my game purchasing down to like almost nothing. I've got 1 book coming, and the last time I ordered a book was about a month ago.
Right.
And that was Karen, Cairn.
Okay.
And before that, it was like 3 months ago during the OSR debacle, I bought Greg Gillespie's Mega Dungeon Monster Manual. And that was basically to support the hobby and support him. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? Just take all the credit away from Wizards of the Coast.
Well, Gygax, Arneson are like verboten anyway. They're problematic.
To hell with that.
There, I said the word.
Pretty soon, YouTube's going to flag that. Gygax or Arneson.
You can throw James Ward, Merle Rasmussen, throw a few other names in.
There's a lot of people here I would like to give the middle finger to on here, but there's no way to pixelate it out.
Well, Glenn, you're looking to do this and then start removing fingers and stuff. I don't know.
True. Do way too many anyways. I'm there too, Doc. I've got my buzz. I always go, so there's that.
This editing thing that you talk about, I don't understand what this is. You actually...
we in the early days of Thaco's Hammer, we had a drinking game. I told everybody, take a drink every time Brian says basically, or Corey says basically, because they'd say that you'd be drunk by the end of the episode. Karen is pretty interesting. I found it kind of interesting. I don't know if it's my jam, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I've read it, and it's like, who knows? Maybe I'll take it to the con and we can play some. I don't know. I do want to play some index card RPG though.
That would be fun.
Yes, I'm still working on I don't know if I should. I looked at Gangbusters BX, and that's probably Mark Hunt should be honored for doing that, because taking BX and putting it in like Gangbusters means you can open the door for do more modern stuff. I know other companies have done it like Night Owl, things like that, different genres. But because I was saying, there's a game I always wanted to, last few years I wanted to write, I wanted to do for Savage Worlds. And that was DuckTales for Savage Worlds. I just want to do one game. And I thought, I could probably use Gangbusters BX. That'd be a lot simpler to do. So I'm thinking in that regard now. But I got to finish my game first.
Finish your game.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of that. Maybe this year. I don't know.
Well, thank God it's a first story window there over by you.
Well, yeah. Doc, index card is good. See, one thing I don't understand about Runehammer, he's got the index card RPG. He's also got the Easy D6.
Another good game.
Yeah. And he hypes that a lot. And it's like, aren't you worried that's going to cut into your sales for index card RPG?
They're both good games. I mean, I guess it's not a zero-sum industry. You can actually appreciate other people's work.
Mr. Woodard, thank you. Yes, I would. Oh, he done DuckTales. Very nice. I even had a scenario. Did you know? I found out I can take the Isle of Dread and make that into a DuckTales session. One shot.
DuckTales. Ooh.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I started writing them all up in Savage World, and I'm going, this is a lot of work. Maybe I ought to use a simpler system. Okay. It's just that they're selling it for him. That's all.
Okay. Well, Glenn, we at the 90-minute mark, we actually have 22 people on our live stream. Holy shit.
These crazy guys.
Oh, and gals. God. We got some gals here.
What's the matter? What's sorry. There we go. All right. Shadow Dark did its work. I still have yet to look at that. I don't know. People are hyping it and hyping it and hyping it. And I go, I should really look at this. But, well, I don't know if is it out of Kickstarter now?
What, Shadow Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're taking pre-orders, but it's funded.
Okay.
And the Kickstarter backers will have the PDFs already.
Okay. I mean, I can't say, my standard thing is, I'll just wait for the con and get it there. But I never know what's still in Kickstarter, what's in fulfillment, and what's in, selling. Kickstarter is funny that way.
Idea for a show from Don. Do an open mic idea jam where everyone talks ideas. Anyone can use anything mentioned. That's not a bad idea. Shannon, how did it's a first story window that you and Kate jump out of all the time. So
there's Bad Mike.
Oh,
Bad Mike
comes in right before we wrap up. He's like, "Hey,
get your butt in here." I told him last night I've got more DVDs to give him.
I know. The man will never stop.
I just added another one today. I'm not going to tell him what they are. I'll just hand them to him.
There you go. Yeah. And like one of these strange ones is porn. But not
really?
Well, you're gonna
really? I'm not giving that one up.
Yeah, you're right. You can still make a late pledge on Shadow Dark. I forgot that the Kickstarter allows that now. I forgot about that.
Hey. Hello, friends. Doing con prep. Good. I got to do game prep.
Yeah, get out that preparation H. Woo. Make sure everything is running smooth. And
yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. Glenn needs the porn. Don't tell that to Becky.
There you go. I'm not taking old man's porn.
Well, old men don't have porn anymore. Old men don't have porn anymore. They learn how to get on the internet if they want.
Yeah. No more of those, VHS tapes copied 17 times, where it's like,
or a stack of magazines that high.
Well, you can't. The magazines stack that high, and then you get the problem of anybody wandering in can find them. So you're always like, oh.
Well, you learn to hide them and stuff. Granny porn. Oh, don't get me started. Hey, have you seen those videos they got where AI takes somebody takes a celebrity and does something weird and puts it, have AI and draw them, and like the first one I saw was Will Smith eats spaghetti. They're
Will
really,
Smith
really
eats
weird.
spaghetti while slapping somebody in the face.
It slaps.
There you go. I'm gonna make sure.
Jack Black eats peaches and all that kind of stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, the early PDF.
Oh, wait. Bad Mike says he's got a funny AI story. So he wants to
put me
on.
All right. Put me on, folks.
But why not? You're putting us on.
All right, Mike. Hold on a second. I gotta find you. You're down a bit on my PM list. I've been PMing so many people, or being PM'd by. All right. Yeah, old thought. Yeah, you better be checking your Facebook PMs there, sir.
Yeah, do your diligence. Should I start to switch and the $20? Oh,
I am.
Whoa!
I am in you. I am in D&D and D.
All right. What you got to say for yourself, Mike?
Well, so there, for those of you, you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
I can't hear a word you're saying, guys. Speak up. No, I can't.
Hold on.
I can hear you fine.
You can't hear? Okay. So for those of you that are familiar with comics, there is a comic creator called Howard Chaykin. And he was very active in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And actually, I think he's still alive. He still does stuff occasionally. He has a very unique art style.
Yeah, he did a flag or whatever it was.
Okay, yep. That's exactly where I'm going, Eric. So he wrote one of the most comic books of the 20th century. It was called American Flag. I don't know if it was a comic book company called American Comics or something. It was an off-brand comic that only lasted maybe 10 or 20 years. This brand. So indie. If you can find the first 12 issues or whatever American Flag, either collections, they're probably not worth a lot. His stuff. So this is written in the early 80s. He predicted so much stuff that would happen now because his comic was about this guy. He was a ex porn star, ex police officer, which Eric knows those go hand in hand, obviously. It is Randolph Flagg. And so actually, he was a former porn star and actor, and then he became a cop. I think on the moon or Mars. I can't remember exactly where it was set. So this is written, like I said, this is 40 years ago. So he was put out of a job because in the future they only sign stars for one season of a show, and then they use AI art for the next 20, 30 seasons or whatever. So that way they don't have to deal with contract disputes. The star got drunk and didn't show up for practice. There's a scandal. This guy's a pedo. They have to do that.
You mean he didn't do like my likeness, pay up?
No, you can't. When you sign the contract, you say, here it is. You got.
I don't let go of my likeness.
They do one season, and then after that, you're fired, and they have an AI do your in this case his porn for the rest of his life. So all during the series, he has to walk around people going, hey, aren't you doing porn? No, I'm not anymore. That's AI. I don't do that anymore. But he
needs residuals.
This is going to happen. I mean, this is what's hilarious. This is going to happen. We're going to see Clark Gable in a movie, Glenn, at some point. We're going to, because all you need is the heirs to sell the rights, like they did with Fred Astaire. Remember, Fred Astaire did the vacuum cleaner commercial where he dabs the vacuum cleaner. All you need is one heir or whatever heirs, or whoever owns the estate, to say, yes, I would like to sell Marilyn Monroe's rights or Betty Davis's rights, and they will be able to do whatever they want to with the rights. Right. So that
started
that was so. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Glenn.
No, so you know who started that likeness rights thing? Crispin Glover, because he got mad that they used dress somebody up like him for Back to the Future too.
Because they only show him from the back or something, but it was still
he was like upside down.
Oh, okay, it was a weird,
yeah.
So, but anyway, that's American Flag, and that's not the only thing that Shaken does. Just hits the nail on the head about. He has animatronic pets. In the future, you'll be able to hook your pet up to a thing, and they can talk to you, and they can have little arms, and they do things. He has a cat that does stuff. I'm sure that'll happen. I don't have any reason to believe that won't happen someday, because people are gaga about their pets. They would love to be able to talk to their pets. Of course, you don't really want to hear what your pet says all the time. In this case, his cat is a real asshole, like cats are. Feed me. Yeah. Anyway, he predicted this way ahead of everybody else. And American Flag is just a really good comic. Anyway, the art's great, the story's great. Characters are great. It's slightly bawdy. It's rated R. It's a rated R comic. It's for adults because, like I said, he used to be a porn star, so they go into that a lot. But yes, it was predicted by Howard Chaykin. That's the only place I can think of that this was kind of talked about way back in the past was American Flag, where someone like, hey, we're gonna have these likenesses of you. We're going to show that. We don't even need Robert De Niro anymore. You know what? If we want a young De Niro, we'll just create a young De Niro. And we'll have Taxi Driver.
They already did for the Irish.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, they what do they call it? They aged. They de-aged
all three of them.
Yeah,
all three of them.
That's what they did to Mark Hamill in Star Wars and Mandalorian. Remember, they did Mark Hamill the same way. They de-aged him for Mandalorian. So.
Yeah, and they're Indiana Jones now too.
Well, are they? Oh yeah, I guess they had to re-age Indy for some of the scenes that happened in the past. Yeah, because it happens in the present, which I guess is the 50s or 60s, and then also they go back in the past, and so I think they de-aged him for those scenes when they show him when he's younger. And I don't know, I honestly don't. Sorry to hijack your Joe, Eric, about movies, but Glenn and I start talking movies, and it's over. But
that's why
I don't understand why people don't do the thing that was always tried and true, Eric or Glenn, which was just have somebody else take over the part. You don't have to have Sean Connery forever. Sean Connery leads to Roger Moore, who leads to
that's
Timothy Dalton.
That's what really bugs me about the Marvel universe. It's like, okay, these guys feel like Robert Downey Jr. says, well, I'm getting too old to play Tony Stark, so they kill him off. Why didn't you recast? Just recast it.
Recast him.
And I said, how many James Bonds has there been?
Did you know? Yeah. Did you? I don't know if you saw when they went ahead and de-aged Mark Hamill. The actor
I saw that.
The actor that played Bucky in the Captain America movies, they did they costumed up Sebastian. I can't remember his last name. He looks just like young Mark Hamill. He looks exactly like Mark Hamill. If you dress him up, they did a thing where they took his picture, they put Luke's clothes on him, and he looks just like a Mark Hamill. Why not just use Sebastian and then just Stan Sebastian? That's the thing. Just do Stan Sebastian. Look, there's your young Luke right there. You don't have to de-age these guys. And I'm sure they could have found an actress that looked like Carrie Fisher for the Rogue One. I mean, they could have found an actress that looks enough like her that it wouldn't have been. Because I didn't think that was very good AI. I thought that was kind of crappy AI.
I thought it was all right, but I liked what they did. Tarkin too.
Yeah,
and he had more screen time.
Yeah, just find somebody that looks like him, or like you said, Glenn. I mean, they've already done this precedent with the James Bond movies. Just find another guy that plays the part. It ends up being really cool because then everybody has their own take. Because Sean Connery's Bond is not like Roger Moore's, who's not like Daniel Craig's. I mean, they all put their own, thing into that character.
Their own spin on it.
Yeah, their own spin on it. So I don't understand the fascination with, hey, let's just redo this and just keep using the same actor. I mean, I'm sorry. Harrison Ford is not going to last another 20 years. What is he, like 85? I mean, the dude is, if you're going to do Indiana Jones from here on out, you're either going to have to do Indiana Jones Jr. and he's going to have to be a guy during,
I remember seeing a behind the scenes for Crystal Skull, and what Lucas said or Spielberg said, he wants to do another 15 of them.
Well, then find somebody else.
We don't want to watch.
I wouldn't mind watching them, but you're going to have to change up the formula a little bit. And I think it was great. You know, you get this whole thing with Indiana Jones. You hear the dun, 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 and you think, okay, 1930s or whatever. Well, you know, at this point, for old people like us, if you set one of those in the 60s, it would be like, I mean, that's 60 years ago. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be in the 30s anymore. It could be, you know, it could be semi. I would like to see one set during, you know, right after World War II, maybe, you know, when you're trying to deal with the Russians and you got the Cold War with the commies and the Red Chinese, you know, go ahead and send Indy to Pacific and see how that goes. Send him to Asia. That would be a tough one. You know, he has to deal with communist agents.
Frankly, I think they should really, unless they're going to recast them, they should put that series to bed.
Oh yeah, I'm talking definite recast. They would have to recast this. I don't want to see any. I don't want to see Ford. I don't want to. I keep thinking I've seen these movies. He's going to hurt himself. I mean, because he has hurt himself the last few years. He crashed his plane. What, a couple years ago? He crashed his plane.
Last time, I think last time he played Han Solo for the sequel trilogy. I think he hurt himself on that too. I
mean, he's just, you know, it's amazing he can even do what he can do, but. I'm all for. I would love to see how about a movie set right after the Death Star gets exploded? Then we can, you know, actually see, you know, recast everybody, recast Luke, Han, Leia, and you know, right before Leia has her baby, and they all run around doing stuff. I mean, Chewbacca could be any goober in a costume. So yeah, there you go. You got the whole gang back together. You got the robots.
Goober in a costume. I love it.
You know, go ahead and do that. I would love to see that. That would be great.
I only own the prequel trilogy and the classic trilogy. I won't get into the sequel trilogy. Oh, and Rogue One.
Rogue One's
I've never seen Solo, but Rogue One I saw that at theater.
I'm one of the few that I really like Solo. I thought they did a very respectful, good job with that. I enjoyed Solo quite a bit. It got a lot of bad publicity because it came out right after the second movie, which a lot of people hated, and they took it all out on Solo, and they shouldn't have. Solo was not that bad a movie.
Yeah, true. But let's see if we can work this back into role playing. Doing all that stuff with the original Star Wars D6 would be kind of fun.
You know, do we still have a version of Star Wars D6 out there? Is there a retro clone, or is that out there at all?
Yeah, well, they did an anniversary box.
Open D6 space is still out there.
Yeah, and
it's a good. I mean, that's a great system. That's a fun game and a good system.
I'd love to take that and do like a Mandalorian campaign. That would be fun. You know,
we'll probably need more. I don't think we have a lot of Star Wars at the con. I mean, not just this year, but I think any year. I don't think a lot of people run that system. I think it has a lot of goodwill with fans. People really enjoyed the Die-6 system because that was back in and we talked about this a lot, Eric and I. Is that, you know, back then you had this, you had this, so everybody remembers playing D6 Star Wars because if you wanted to play Star Wars, you played D6 Star Wars. That was the only version. Now there's 17 versions of Star Wars. You know, you playing the Modifius one, or you playing, you know, TSR, WotC.
You know, back in the day when it was D6 Star Wars, there's a certain section of gaming where they would show me and says, "Oh yeah, I remember when that was Ghostbusters," and they go, "That's where it started."
But there's a lot of good nostalgia for that system, and look at the great reception we've had for Gangbusters at the con. I mean, everybody wants to play Gangbusters.
My one game. I'm going to be. Saying. I think I'm going to be running it more than once. Gage is going to go into Matt Evans. I talked him into Matt Evans' game because we were both running at the same time. But it's like Matt had like one player, and so go over there and play him. I'll run it again for you later.
So is it just the one Gangbusters? Is Mark Hunt running one, or
he will? You know, he does the ad hoc stuff. He'll probably run a Gangbusters. He'll run Tall Tales, the Western one he does. I know he'll do that. And, by the way, I should talk to you about Doc Cross. You know Doc, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's on here. He was one of the big writers for Toon. And he told me next year, Toon is 40.
Wow.
40th anniversary. And I said, I'll talk to Mike. If we can get you out here, you could be a special guest.
Toon is honestly, Toon is one of the funnest games to run, but I think it is one of the absolute hardest games to run. It is absolutely because it is. Oh, I think it is, Glenn, because it is not. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is a lot of improv, a lot of improv, and you got to be.
Oh yeah, well, in the past I was in Doc's games and they were fun. You know what he did the last time I played? All he did is he set us down, with our characters. He says, okay, we're going to create some characters or whatever. We create the characters. And he says, all right, I'm just going to go in the back of the book where the tables are and come up with a game. And he rolled a few things and all of a sudden, boom, there's a game. How many people can do that?
That's what I'm saying. It's a great game when I played it, but it's a tough game to run. It requires a very dedicated game.
If you can get him out here as a special guest, I know that he's going to probably steal my gamer people from my Gangbusters game at least, and just have a really, really good set of games.
You know who would run? I bet who could run too. It's probably Tim Snyder, because he has.
Oh,
he has. Yeah, that makes sense. He's
Eric and Raish were in it. In fact, I was like the assistant GM.
You were good.
Oh, I know he runs a lot of the cartoon-based games. I did not know he did too.
He did Toon, and I walked by. He says, "Glenn, what? Come here and help me. Do what? Voices. Sit next to me, right here."
And you can do that.
I said, "Well, I'm not in the game. Your game's full." No. Sit here. And they played Dungeons and Tunes.
Oh, see, that's great stuff.
Yeah. Doc says Toon will be 40. And I'll be 70.
Won't we all pretty soon? Boy, we're all
heading there. See, Toon was done by Mr. I can't remember his name. Damn it!
Warren Spector.
No, the other one. The one that came to the con and he disappeared.
Costigian. Greg Costigian. The only special guest to this day I've never met. The special guest at my con that I've never met. Greg Costigian.
Yeah, he wrote the original book, but then they revamped they had some supplements and they put it together in the second edition. And then Doc wrote like 3 more supplements for it that are excellent. I wish I could get my hands on them. I've got the main book, but Doc he came up with the ones with he did all the genres. I mean, there was a spy one, there was a Call of Cthulhu one, there was a D&D one, there was a Supers one, a cyberpunk takeoff, and it was hilarious. I got to play in his cyberpunk Toon game. That was fun. I got to play Wile E. Coyote, Solo Genius.
Oh,
that was
super genius. Wile E. Coyote.
I was not totally wrong. It was designed by Greg Costigian and developed by Warren Spector. So they're both on the team.
Yeah, and Doc says he's run about 90.
A crazy variety of stuff back in the day.
Oh, he says he's run about 90 Toon games at cons. And he was the one who wrote the random adventure generator I just talked about in one of his supplements. That's where he just went, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I got a game. Oh, man, I love GMs who can do that. Just like me, it's like, give me an hour. The other ones are like, oh, give me 5 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I get... I just love that kind. I love that stuff. Anyway, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
My up to the minute, last minute plug for North Texas. We're very close to selling out. Probably another 30 or 40 seats, maybe at the most.
I'm begging Full On Gamer to come and run some BattleTech, because I said, why? I know you're excited to go to Gen Con, but come to ours.
Oh, just there's no comparison between this and Gen Con. Come on, Gen Con's a cluster F compared to us.
Yeah,
it's just 500 people, man. Just spread out and have a good time.
I just don't understand it. I mean, he went to North Texas a couple of times. I said, come on back. He's a long haul trucker. He could make an excuse to come over here.
So hey, your grandson is coming after all, Glenn.
Yes.
I thought there was one. I did thought one point he might not be coming.
We had 5 people. Well, we didn't know. We had 5 people in the room. I have him, Gage, Carlos, who runs my Monday Eberron game, Carlos, Mark Hunt, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Well, 1, 2. Anyway, we have 5 people because I offered the fourth spot to Carlos. He said, okay, if I can clear it. And then because Mark said I can't come this year. And then he comes back and says, oh, I can come this year.
Oh, good.
All right.
Good.
We'll so I bought an air mattress for Gage. He'll put them on.
Yes, Flint, we are talking about the Gangbusters BX. Mark Hunt, the writer, will be there. And yes, there is a bit of minor, resurrection of Gangbusters in North Texas. Glenn ran it a few years ago. Everybody went nuts and gaga over it, and so we try to run it as much as we can. And this is by the way, I think this is my 5th year I've been running it. Yep.
And I only run it once. But this year I may make an exception. There's so many. I just want to GM this year. I mean, I'm playing a couple of games, but I really want to GM this year for some reason. I just want to put something on the board saying, hey, I'm running this and see who shows up. I'm going to bring Index Card RPG. I'm in a Hyperborea game. I might run that. Who knows? I'm bringing Toon. And so, I'm just excited to be a GM. But anyway.
Yes, well, we're excited about seeing everybody there. I was getting con stuff ready at the warehouse for.
Were you?
Yeah, tomorrow Gary's going to come over. We're going to be putting together backpacks, dice bags, lanyards, all that fun stuff, and yeah, man, it's getting down to the wire. It's a week and a few days away. I mean, good Lord, it's almost here.
Yeah. Don't remind me. I haven't finished my Gangbusters game yet.
We'll finish it up.
I keep putting it up. Well, I'm having a little, I'm having a senior moment about that's lasted like 2 months about that game.
Glenn, just take the advice of Dashiell Hammett. I think it was.
I know.
Hammett, have a guy with a gun walk through the door.
Door. Yeah.
If when in doubt, when you're stuck on your book, just have a guy with a gun.
Yeah.
I think you said with a gat. Have a guy with a gat walk to the door.
Well, this year I'm featuring Eric and Rachel because the main location is going to be Eric's Roadhouse and Rachel's beer garden, which are together. Outside of town.
Now, is this also going to be a homage to American Flag, and the Eric character will be a porn star also, as well as?
No. Well, you'll have to talk to Eric about that.
No, I can tell you right now. The answer is no.
Or maybe Satan. Maybe Satan in a Speedo will show up.
I think I have a good idea. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. No, Satan's not the one that wears Speedo. It's his demented younger brother. Who's.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I'm going to have a new. I'm going to very proud. I'm going to break the news here. Let's break the news here for you guys.
Sure, go ahead.
Satan and the Devilettes will have a brand new, modern look at this year's midnight auction. The Devilettes have sexy new costumes. I've seen them; they look great. And Satan will have a new cloak and sunglasses.
Wow.
Instead of that ratty old crappy cloak that I throw in the warehouse every year, then I just dig it up a week before the convention. It's got dust bunnies and
shake it off and
it's got stains from God. You don't even want to know where the stains are from. And
I went to the midnight auction once a few years ago. I've not been back.
You're too old, Greg, and you fall asleep. I know exactly what happens with you.
I did not. I'm there to buy stuff. What are you talking about?
And another announcement. Eric will be at the midnight auction, and he will fulfill an important role at the midnight auction this year. That's all I'm going to say. So if you're a fan of Tenkar, you better show up.
Okay. How do you get into the midnight auction? Are you still selling tickets or something like that?
No. So we changed it. What we do is you only buy a ticket if you're going to get a bidding paddle. If you're just going to show up, I believe it doesn't cost anything. And I think bidding paddles are only like $1, $2, something like that.
So you have to get a ticket.
We only give away 100 bidding panels, I believe. But yeah,
so you have to have a bidding paddle to bid.
To bid, yes.
Oh man.
Well, the reason we do that, Glenn, is because so many people always say they want to bid, but unless they have a little bit of juice in the game, they don't bid, and so we only get the same 5 people bid every time. At least this way, put a little juice.
Well, maybe I'll just cut down on the silent auction this year and get a paddle.
We've got some good silent. We got some really good silent auction stuff this year. I tried to clear out some stuff, and so I got some big old piles of stuff for the silent, and I think there's some pretty good stuff in there. I got a lot of good stuff in the silent auction. So, and we have a lot of individual. We have a lot of unique publications. We got the B 4.5 that will be at the front desk, $25 for a retro module.
I'll get that
by Tom Wilson and Charlie Phipps. We have a digest written by the Independent Publishers Union.
Good. So, will Mr. Oliver take my money for next year's badge?
I don't know how he. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, Glenn. We're going to go back to the way it used to be in the past. The disc. We're going to probably put the tickets on sale like we used to, like in July, like right after the convention's over, and we will have a 30% discount only for the month of July, because that's what we used to do. And then Doug started extending it all the way through December. We're not going to extend anymore. It's only going to be that 1 month.
I know. How about if I hand you $140 and say, wait till June and put this on my.
Just talk to Gary. I bet Gary will work something for you, because for some reason Glenn has a very superstitious thing about he has to give us the money. I think he thinks it keeps.
I don't.
I think he thinks he doesn't. He won't be alive next year. So that's what keeps him alive. Handing the money.
Well, I'll have the tube in my nose, and they'll wheel me in the hospital bed with an IV. Yeah, let's play. No. The thing is, I mean, that's how I get there every year, because I say to my wife,
"You're smart.
I've already paid for the badge."
There you go.
And she believes me, and I'm not lying this time. So she said, "Okay."
We have a charity game, which is we have a bunch of special guests, and we have people. We have 2 people. We sell 2 seats, usually about $500 for that game. We don't actually feature an charity auction. The reason is that is the money we use to run the con. We literally break even every year. We don't make money on the tickets. We're only charging $100 for a weekend, which is very competitive. And we're only taking 500 people. Now, if we were taking 1,000 people, it'd be different. We'd have a lot more money. We're only taking 500 people. Literally, the auction and the raffle are only 2 money makers at the con. And we get most of our auction stuff donated, and then we go ahead and auction it off, and that way we're able to keep the money for it.
Yeah, give me your stuff, Wizard. Give me your stuff for the silent auction. That'll work.
And then somebody else said, "You should be paying Glenn to come, not him paying." So another dirty little secret of the con: we don't pay a lot of special guests to attend, and once again, that is because of budget constraints and what we can and can't do. I'm in
line for that somewhere.
What we do is, if a person can usually make it there, we will say, "Hey, guess what? You're a special guest." And what that means is they get $100 when they check in. We give them cash; they can spend the con. But really, we have very few guests that we actually pay for. And you're right; it's past due that Glenn should probably be a special guest at the con. So we'll see what we can do. We do have usually one.
My God! I have a groupie.
Well, one space every year. Last year we had we try to have one podcaster a year, because we always have Mike and Liz, obviously, and they podcast. But last year we had Hobbs. We had Hobbs last year, and I don't remember who it is this year. I think we have somebody doing that's a podcaster that's not Eric this year. But we should have Glenn is a legend in the podcasting community. We probably should recognize that at some point. So
I got a leg up on stuff, I think. But
I'm trying to remember who the person.
But listen. Even if I don't make special guests next year, Mark Hunt should.
Mark Hunt's another one of those guys that we're looking at, because we're trying to get people that are not. That's why this year we have Keelan Halverson, we have Ben Barsh, we have Kelsey. We're trying to get people that aren't special guests a lot, because everybody goes to cons and they see the same 15 people and they're okay. I've seen that guy,
Yeah.
And we're trying to give look, and these old guys aren't going to last forever, right? I mean, they're older than us, and we're as ancient as the hills, and they're older than us, and so their days are numbered. I mean, like
I just turned 66, so that'll give you an idea. But yeah, Mark he's always got a good con presence. He loves to come because he gets contacts and jobs, and he just runs a hell of a good game.
Everybody likes his stuff too. I mean, he got a lot of praise from both Steve March and Steve Winter, who bought his rule set last time. I mean, he's a good writer. And like I said, Steve Marsh told me he loved the stuff. He bought his Western game. Or maybe I'm mixing them up. Maybe that was Steve Winter that bought his Western game that liked it. One of the two really enjoyed the stuff.
The BX Western Tall Tales. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good game. Oh, by the way, Wizard
Ty Beard liked that too. Ty Beard bought that and enjoyed it also. He read quite a bit of it. He likes old style games, and he loves.
By the way, I'm reading here, and Wizard Tower says, "Have Eric drop me a shipping address for stuff, and we will send over a box of product for the raffle, etc. Anything to help."
That would be so nice. Thank you very much, Don. That's above and beyond the Call of Duty. We would definitely make use of it. So
anything to keep the con going, as far as I.
And like I said, that really is our two main avenues of money are the auctions, which we have 3 of them: the midnight auction, the live auction, and the silent auction, and then the raffle. And the raffle, people are we used to offer really gigantic presents in the raffle, and I finally talked Doug out of that. I said there's no reason we should be offering free trips to the con and the raffle. That costs us like $3,000. We're not making enough raffle tickets. We're not selling.
Especially if you got to fly. Especially if you got to fly them in. But I warn you, the regular raffle, you better have deep pockets.
Yeah, when you see somebody win 2 or 3 times, it's because they've literally bought $500 or $1,000 worth of tickets, and they're doing it to only help the con. I will guarantee you, we don't have anything worth that much in the raffle. We usually have 2 big ticket items. This year, we have 2 big ticket items. We have an original TSR coffee mug from 1993, and I think we have one more. Oh, we have a Gary Gygax signed Legendary Adventure book, and then. And that's it. I mean, the rest of the stuff it's okay stuff, but none of the other stuff's worth more than $50, for the raffle.
I gave you a couple things for the silent auction one year. I remember that.
We might still have that. I'm trying to clear out the silent auction this year, and I'm also trying to clear the midnight auction out. So it's gonna be the kitchen sink in the midnight auctions. I'm trying to get
should be fun
piling up for years. Yeah, it's always the midnight auction is always a blast. And we have some.
How much is it?
We have some good skits or sketches or whatever.
How much are the tickets for the paddle?
I want to say, I don't know if we went up in price. I know they were $1 at one point. We may have gone up to $5, but they're reasonable. They're $1, $2, $5, somewhere in that range. I don't think they're a lot because we just wanted to keep out because you know how it is. Glenn and Eric, you guys have been on the show. Friday night about midnight, people were maybe hit the bottle a little bit. I'm bidding on that. And then, and they basically end up disrupting things rather than,
the Saturday night one.
Yeah, on the midnight auction. So if you make people pay for a paddle, it's why I stick their hands up. You say, you have no paddle, stick your hand down, drunk, shut up. You're not bidding on this. You don't have a paddle,
I mean, so the year I went, I wanted to bid, but I just didn't see anything I wanted.
So, yeah, because the midnight auction is a bunch of it's just goofy stuff. It's goofy things. Now we usually include a couple of decent items, or we include a couple of ringers, like actually decent items. But for the most part, it's
like that Call of Cthulhu DVD. I should have been on that, but
that was actually pretty good, and that went for a pretty good.
I've seen it before. It's great.
Sometimes we get some stuff that I put up there, like, this won't get too many bids, and then people get crazy on it. We put up Avalon Hill Witchcraft game last year because it was a joke. It had been given to us years before by Bill Meinhardt. And so I think that went for a pretty good price in the midnight auction, which I think we paid $200 for it to begin with. And then we just stuck it in a corner of the warehouse for 10 years and then say, hey, let's get rid of the Witchcraft game.
I wish Reaper had a booth.
They were here. They were here last year, not with a booth, but they were running games. I don't know what their presence is this year. I don't think they're actually coming. They come by, but they don't run a booth. The Reaper guys do come by and they hang out.
I saw. Yeah, they do. They talk up the stuff. And let me tell you, we have the best dealer's room. My favorite dealer's room.
There's no fluff, is there, Glenn? It's all good. Every table is good stuff.
It's all good stuff, especially the bad Mike stuff.
Thank you.
Kiss. And
David Donahue's got some great stuff too. He
does. I'm gonna be doing a trade with him this year for Old School Essentials.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Courtney's bought a plane ticket and is ready to go. Thank you. Oh, it's great. Great to see Courtney there. That'll be awesome. Courtney Campbell.
Yes, Eric is allowed to speak. We're just getting wound up.
Eric, I can tell I work with Eric just like Glenn does. Eric is catching up on post. I know exactly that look on his face.
Me? Catching up on post?
Yeah.
He's letting Glenn know he's catching up on the comments. He's catching up.
You guys are lucky we're not.
I thought you meant I was doing a blog post because I did do the blog post that you guys already.
I was saying we'll give you cover to do a blog post if you want us to. I guess.
No, I already put one up. Actually, it's somebody who has vended at the con in the past. It is Pocket Jack Comics. Preston has an OSE Kickstarter going right now.
Yeah, really? Preston will be there again this year, and Preston, comic book guy I don't even know why he ever came to the convention because he didn't do any games the first year he came, and then he got interested. And now he's doing game stuff, so that's kind of cool. He started just. He just did comics, and now he's doing games too. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, great. I think.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Oh yeah, no, keep talking.
No, his OSE adventure launched today. He had a goal for like 500. I think he blew through that in like the hour. I think it's over 1,500 right now. I mean, for $10, you get two comics in PDF, plus the adventure itself, which also includes, I guess, he's working on a setting, and I think it's $29 for all that in print. Oh, and STL files. By the way, folks, if you want the same printer that the bald-headed guy at Fat Dragon Games, Tom Wilson, uses.
The bald-headed guy, nice.
The bald-headed guy at Fat Dragon, Tom Tullis, the same printer that he uses, I link to a coupon at Micro Center. You got to go in person. I'll be doing it tomorrow. $99 for that same printer. That's unbeatable. So, not that I'm shilling. I make no money off it, but I like to empower the gaming community. And if you can print your own minis and terrain, you're well set.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I mean, we always get these wild card vendors show up once in a while too. Remember the guy that had all the books, the leather books with the homemade paper in there? I love that. They were like $25 a book.
Oh yeah. Plus, that's right.
He also had those weapons, the fake ones, the reproductions.
That was
had another couple of guys there who was selling game tables, custom game tables, and that kind of stuff. And then we go over to Bad Mike's booth and find some guy who drops a box off of a bunch of stuff. We have no idea what it is, and it's all like, I think I picked up one of them, which was like Castles and Crusades, both books in one, and it had a BX cover.
That was last. That was he comes every year. I can't remember the guy's name. He was just he had a baby, was clearing his collection out, said, "You guys want the stuff? Sure, whatever." Because people say that they drop off a bunch of books. It's usually whatever. Oh my gosh, that was good stuff, wasn't it, Glenn? There was.
It was great.
He had some great stuff in that box.
Yeah, I said I brought that to Matt's house. He loved it because we're now playing Castles and Crusades on Thursdays. So Matt looked at it and go, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah,
so we've been using it.
It was great stuff. Yeah, we encourage people. And we a few years ago, and I'm going to announce this at the con also. And I talked to Gary, and he said it's okay. Is that we want somebody to run. Because we had somebody a couple of years ago dropped off the entire fantasy strip, the whole Kickstarter. They bought everything.
I remember that David Donahue did.
And we have the sheets, we have the mats, everything.
I kicked myself for not buying it.
I would love
$150 and I could have done it.
So the con took possession of that. I would love somebody to run fantasy trip, and then we supply everything because we have it all. I'd love somebody to run Star Wars miniatures because before Doug passed away, he bought literally every single Star Wars spaceship miniature there was. We have an entire 3 shelves filled with the warehouse, and we've got the stand-up table that they had with the Kickstarter for that too. And then I also like somebody to run Ogre, because I've got the Ogre.
Oh yeah, they had. Was it last year? You had the big Ogre Kickstarter box set too.
Yeah, well, we have that. I mean, the con owns that, and Doug and I spent a whole day one day putting it all together and played it. But we haven't had anybody run it at the con. I would love somebody, if they wanted to, they could use the giant Ogre Kickstarter, which is hard to find now. It was like $400, I think, when it came out. $400.
Ridiculous.
Black Blade Publishing. Black Blade Publishing is always there, and they do sell DCC and MCC.
Yep. They do. They're the vendors there for DCC, MCC, and they'll have a very nice collection.
And Jim Wampler comes every year. Yeah. So if you ever want to,
I don't know if Jim's going to be here this year. Well, Jim might not be here. I think he was talking about coming, right? First of all, he said he couldn't come, so we didn't make him a special guest because he couldn't come. And then last time I talked to him, he's going to try to come. So if you heard anything else, Glenn, is he going to definitely come or?
He don't talk to me anymore. We say hi at the con. That's just. But yeah, there's going to be DCC. There's going to be DCC and MCC stuff. There will be, and it's to buy, to play.
There's a lot of. I mean, if you go to most conventions, even really good conventions that have a lot of people there, you rarely find as many old school type stuff at tables. Like you don't find old. You won't find old Judges Guilds. You won't find a lot of first edition stuff. You won't find a lot of esoteric games like old Pace Setter or old FGU stuff. This is a convention where you find all that stuff.
Between Bad Mike and David Donahoe, if you can't find it, it don't exist.
The OSR people are well represented. There'll be people there with all the OSR stuff, with OSC stuff, with like DCC, MCC, Swords and Wizardry. I mean, all that, I don't know if anybody has. Now, I don't know if we don't have any Shadow Dark. I don't think any Shadow Dark's out yet. I think it's still waiting to get printed. So, don't need Shadow Dark. But yeah, all that stuff is out. By the way, but Kelsey will be there and she'll be running Shadow Dark. So that'll be cool. That'll be very.
Oh, she will.
Mm-hmm. She's going to be there. She scheduled 2 games, which filled up instantly, and then I believe she said she wanted to run some off the grid games. So we'll see.
And by the way, if any of you are fans of Hyperborea, Jeff Talanian will be there, and he runs Hyperborea, him and his cronies. I'm in one of the.
Says no womp.
We're not begin. Okay. And then
but yeah,
Jeff had 8 boxes. He had 8 boxes of stuff sent to me also, so he's going to be well stocked with product at his booth. Jeff Talanian. So,
I might have to talk.
I loaded 8 boxes.
I might have to talk Carlos into buying.
I think I've already got all this stuff. I don't think I need to buy anything.
The main books. No, I'm my GM, my Eberron GM, because he loves Hyperborea too. And it's like he bought the 2nd edition, the big book, and so
the big book.
The big book, yeah. So he'll probably.
And there's what's good also about the convention shows. There'll be a lot of game. I mean, most game conventions you go to, okay, they're going to have a ton of 5e. Obviously, they're going to have a smattering of other things, whatever, but. This game we got everything. There's 5e, there's 1e, there's OD&D, there's 2e, there's 3e, there's MERP. There's a lot of MERP games this year. There's MERP games.
And Merle Rasmussen running Top Secret.
Top Secret. I mean, Boot Hill, not 1 but 2 Boot Hill games. I mean, and I think Steve Winter and Alan Hammock are running it, which is crazy. So you got 2 of the original D&D TSR guys running stuff. So. Yeah, it's just a really cool convention because it's not the same as every other convention. There's all kinds of interesting little twists here and there.
We've had some remarkable people come too as guests, and they will sit down and play with you or run something. No problem. Hey, 2K, can I scalp him?
I can make one of those tickets up real quickly.
Yeah, you got the money.
Table ticket. 2K, look, give me 2K and I'll get you in that damn game. Kelsey's my bud. I'll get you there for 2K.
Look, I hold a gun to her head.
A chair for your table. Where did that
I'll split it with her between her and the con. We'll give her 1K.
Yeah, there you go.
For 1K at the con, and I'll take a little vig. I'll take a little vig for setting it up and everything. But yeah, if you want to pay that much, we don't have VIP tickets or VIG, but for $2,000, we'll figure something out.
So we'll make a deal.
Yeah, we'll
make her an offer we can't.
Yeah, we'll make a deal. I'm making it sure. You can't refuse.
Wow.
Make them an offer you can't refuse.
It is 10:20. We've been... This is...
Damn, we're having fun. Just talking about the con.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
I can't wait to see you guys, man. I am so excited about seeing. I popped in late and I saw Glenn's face looking all excited. And I saw Eric looking exasperated. And I got excited, and I'm just thinking about seeing you guys in a week and a half. It's going to be awesome, man.
Did you ever tell him that story about the two guys from Ireland?
I don't tell it anymore, but it's a great story. That just showed that was one of the two best stories about people that come from faraway places to play. Yeah, that they haven't been in a few years. I don't think they've been so removed, but yeah, one year we had two guys from Ireland who just I want to say they
said they heard it on, they kept hearing it on Save or Die, and this was their first American convention.
Yep,
was them.
And the other guy was cool. Was that there was a guy from Russia that showed up one year, and he had family in Dallas that he hadn't seen for 15 years. And without knowing it, he just knew there's a convention. He listened to your guys' show too, Glenn, and he listened to Save or Die back in the day and knew there was a convention. I'm like, okay, well, that's close to my relatives. He flew in not knowing anything. He didn't register for any games, didn't know nothing. He spoke really good English, but he was from Mother Russia, and he flew in and had a blast. And I've kept touch with him over the years through Facebook, and he is now living in the latest I heard from him, he's living in Dallas full time because they are involuntary enlisting people in Russia. If you're a male between the ages of 16 and 16.
I've heard that.
And so he permanently moved to the United States to get out of that. But
maybe he'll show up. Maybe he'll show up.
I would love him to show up again. I probably need to send him a message one of these days. But he's he just came from Russia, didn't know anything, I don't think he'd ever been to a convention, period, any gaming convention. He just
wow.
But yeah, you guys have reached out over the years. That Save or Die and Save for Half is, you guys did a lot.
Save or Die. When I was on Save or Die, that's how they got me started on this con. Because they talked it up. Mike and Liz talked it up, and I looked and I said, "Oh, that's only about 2 hours away from where I live. Okay, I can drive down there for 4 days." And next thing I know, Becky and I are going to the con. Becky went 2 years, and then she finally said, "You go on," because she's not a gamer, but she has a lot of friends in the area from when she used to work at Texas Instruments. And so I would go game. She would go do her thing, but she got tired of doing that. So it's like, you go. Then I went for 3 years, and then I finally got Gage to go. Finally, his mother let him. And he always says,
I know, Gage has had a blast. He's had a blast.
Yeah, is your mother going to let her? He says, well, she doesn't have any say in it. I'm going. Yeah, she didn't want him to get involved in that because she didn't want him to be a geek, she says.
Gage was in my B1 game.
Yes,
he was in my B1 game one year, and he was a hoot.
Yes.
He was an absolute hoot.
Oh, God.
He's one of those guys that the DMs love because he tried every door, drank every potion, put on every pool. Whatever there was, he tried it.
Yeah, and I told him to this day he runs that game at the Caves of Chaos or whatever it is. Your head on a pike is still out there.
That's B1. He was in B1. That was when he went to the room pools and drank from every pool.
He jumped in every one.
You're not supposed to drink from some of those pools. But he made all his poison saves, and he turned blue, and then he became
10 feet tall, blue, and blind.
And then he became a Minotaur too. Somehow he got the
and a bunch of kobolds killed him because they didn't fight him, but they got scared. What the hell is this kind of monster?
He was chasing him around. He was chasing him around. They eventually turned on him and killed him. They chopped his head off and stuck it above the door. So I told Gage when I run that B1 again, which I don't think I've run it again, I'm going to have his head sitting above the door. That's great. That's what's great is stories like this that we keep talking about. That's great about going to cons.
Oh, yeah. You know how I got him to the con in the first place? I told his mother I lied to her and said I had an extra ticket and my friend and he's not going. Can Gage go? And she didn't even think about it. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Why didn't you say that to me 3 years ago?
You can't go have fun with your grandpa. I mean, come on. That's
yeah. It's like, come on. I mean, I used to bring him something home from the con every year, but still. I have trouble buying for my grandkids when I'm there because they don't really game. Gage is the only one that really games. His brother doesn't game. His two cousins don't game. And I'm always looking for like a plushie or something I can buy them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dice would be lost on him.
Yeah.
So,
polyhedron dice? Huh? What's this? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the con, folks. Don't miss out.
Yep, we're going to have a blast.
Oh, by the way, the hotel's full.
Yeah.
It is. You have to get next door or across the street.
Geek Nerd Game, if you're serious about this, use my email. Reach out to me. I will connect you and Mike, or you and the con, and we will see what they can do. Okay.
Do I get a 10? Do I get it? Do I get it?
Ask? I didn't see it.
This is he wanted. It said sold for the Kelsey game. Sold for the Kelsey game. What can we exchange info?
Shadow Dark.
I will.
He's not messing around. He wants to.
No, he's not messing around. So if this is legit,
well,
he can email.
It's legit. Let us know if it's legit. We'll say we can work it out. Just like it's legit.
Email me and I'll connect you and Mike.
We'll figure it out.
There's for both Eric and me, we each get 10% as a finder's fee.
I know.
You gotta get a little vague in there, but we'll figure out. We'll donate the money. We'll figure out something to do with the money. We'll figure out. So yeah, let us know. And
I love this. Go to the next comment. Go to the next comment. I love this.
You coming to the con, Glenn?
I spent how long to talk? Yes, I'm coming to the con.
He's the one in a college dorm room at the hotel.
I mean, Jason's. Yeah, we have fine people. Jason's coming from your neck of the woods, Eric. Yeah. And he will be talking your ear off about joining his game. I'm just warning you.
So, Geek Nerd Game, just so you know, when it comes to me at conventions, if I am at a convention as a special guest or, when I used to work for Frog God Games, yes, I would run games. When I'm going on my own dime, I barely even sign up for games. I'm usually there to socialize, which means that in my case, I usually come with a set of game rules. I come with a deck of usually like random encounters or random scenarios, and from Inkball Designs. And if we decide to get a game going, I will literally draw out 2 or 3 cards, look at them, and say which one inspires me, and then
dungeon cards and dungeon dice,
and we're running. So I mean, these are old school games. Now whether I run Shadow Dark, which I would need to refer to the rules, or Swords of Wizardry Light, which I can run from my head. If we find the right group and you have the time available in our schedule, we can all sit down. There are places to game. There are tables to find.
By the way, Geekner Game says he says I will also play. I'll pay $2,000 for Glenn's seat at Kelsey's table. Well, I don't have a seat at Kelsey's table, but if you want to pay me $2,000 to get in my Gangbusters game, that's another story.
Yeah, Glenn's running games.
I will take a crew. I mean, I've got 8 players. I wouldn't mind 9 for that. Okay.
Glenn could squeeze you in. He'd figure it out a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I already told Game to go play Matt Evans' game because it's the same time. And it's like, go play him. Come on. I don't want, 12 people here, but hey, you put up, I fix it, I'll make it happen.
I mean, honestly, I go to conventions like North Texas to socialize. I go to meet people, hang out with people. I geek out over certain guests myself. I'm sure I'll be geeking out over Kelsey. But Darlene, I spent hours just sitting down and chatting with Darlene last year. She's a wonderful person. This is where I get my enjoyment from.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But by the way, I'll tell this story one more time. James Spahn, first time he came, we were sitting in the hall on a sofa or something talking, and guy walks by. I said, wait a minute. Hey, Errol, come over here. Errol Otis, James Michael Spahn. And the look on his face, like, Errol Otis? Huh? I said, I think he forgot his name too. I said, James, your name is James. Yeah, James. He was just so excited to see him. And people go here and see these people and go like, me, it's like, wow. Me, it was like, I got insulted by Tim Kask. Cool. That's like being insulted by Rickles.
Yeah, Tim's good at that. I mean, listen, everybody has one or two personalities, and that is your geek out corner. For me, it was Jeff Grubb. Of all people, Jeff was the person when,
mine was Frank Mincer.
See, Frank was just like Frank, and Tim was like Tim, but Jeff Grubb is the name that I recognize from my 2E days. And I was
by the way, Mike, we've been trying to get, Matt Emmons is coming this year, finally.
Finally, after what, 10 years?
But because I mentioned that Raggy was going to be there. I'm there. I'm getting a badge. Yeah,
well, the only other U.S. convention he shows up to besides Gen Con, so that's really because we're the only people who have asked him. It turns out nobody ever asked him. He can't figure out why people would ever want him to come to his con. So
is not Larry Elmore
Easley?
I can't. Easley is Easley still doing it? Is he going to do his picture?
He's going to do his painting that we'll auction off. But he is having knee surgery, I believe, the week before the week after our con. So he's not going to be able to. Yeah. Once again, can't make it, unfortunately. But
he can't make it this year.
No, he's been before, but he always does the painting because we usually get quite a bit of money for that, $5,000-$6,000, and he splits it with us, or we split it.
Yeah, this is something else you're not going to find at any other.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Jeff Easley would come.
Easley an original Easley.
All weekend, he's sitting in front of a big canvas, sketched it out, and he takes house paint, gallon house paint, and paints this wonderful picture, and then they auction it off for the con. It's fantastic.
Now, the last few years he's been doing it from home, and he's actually been taking the time and doing an amazingly professional picture. So
you can sit there.
The ones the last few years have actually been better than the normal ones because he's really taken his time. But yeah, that's very cool that Jeff does that for us, and that helps out the con quite a bit too. So.
Yeah, and you can sit there watching. One year Elmore was there, and it's like I took this picture. I said two legends talking to each other. Click. And he was sitting there, and Elmore was just, talking him up.
Yeah, well, I'd love Elmore is Larry.
Where do you see that?
Man, and he's a great guy, and I don't think we're actually going to be able to have him back very much because his health is just really going downhill the last few years. And so, but he was a wonderful guest, and he is so down to earth and just such a cool dude. He's not like a legend. Gentleman. I mean, you would think, this guy's a legend, whatever. No, he's just a cool dude.
Yeah,
he's absolutely cool. Very nice guy.
Yeah, he's a Southern gentleman. Basically, D will be there.
And he just fun. Yes, Jeff D he has not been in a few years. He and Amanda, but he and Amanda will both be their special guests.
We also have Bunny Burroughs, Dr. Sester.
Dr. Sester will be the first time. So these guys have not been since pre-con. Jeff D and then Dennis.
Pre-COVID,
pre-COVID. They have not been. So they will be in. And so I'm excited to see Dennis again. We haven't seen Dennis in 3 or 4 years. So that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, you got Merle coming, you got Dennis coming, you got Jeff D coming. I can't think of I mean, I know we're running out. I mean, these guys are like dropping cons like crazy because they're old. But I don't want to get to that point. But you are going to see. You're going to see things you've never seen before.
It's very cool.
A bear drinking a soda pop. No, not that.
Is the judges kill kids so racist? Yes, they've actually never apologized for anything they've said, either Bob Bledsoe Jr. or the third. So sadly, we used to have Bob at the con. He was a nice guy, but you know what? Sometimes nice guys are racist. I mean, really, they are. I mean, just the way it is. I mean, he's a nice guy, but he's just. Unapologetic, totally unapologetic, which sucks.
Yeah, the independent publishers union. Who cares about the independent publishers union? They're all my friends, so I care about them. But who else cares? Everybody else should.
They're sponsoring. They're sponsoring a room this year. They definitely have a booth. I don't know if they have a room too, but yeah, they'll be. I think they have a room I don't know. They have a room where they'll be selling stuff. The independent publishers union.
Well, by the way, too bad we couldn't get his father on. By the way, Geek. smokestackjones@gmail.com. I just thought I'd throw that out.
And so
if he wants to,
Janelle will be there. If he wants a Judges Guild.
Oh, Janelle Jacquet.
Yeah, Janelle will be there with her wife Rebecca, and so if you want some Judges Guild happy goodness, that's there's the author of Caverns of Thracia, Dark Tower, Book of Treasure.
By the way, Black Blade, I think it was Black Blade who's doing the Goodman Games stuff, the DCC stuff, will also have their 5e rewrites of Temple of Elemental Evil and all that stuff.
By the way, so something very cool that Janelle did this year, because we have a very long, awesome relationship with Janelle. She was at our first convention. She did the logos for our 3rd through 10th year. And then she doesn't live very far away. She lives in Texas, not like an hour drive. She's going to donate a history of Judges Guild. Those big giant Judges Guilds books they had, the $100 ones.
Those were fun.
Yeah, she's going to donate the one that was her. It was a History of Judges Guild, Part 2, Janelle Jaquays, and it has reprints of Caverns of Thracia, Dark Tower, Books, Treasure Maps, all the other stuff she did, and she will personalize and sign that, and that's going to be in the live auction this year. And she's donating that, which is awesome.
Yep.
So that she's really, really been good to the con. It's very nice.
Okay, June 1st to the 4th, folks.
Right.
At the
first week in June.
At the Westin.
Show up on Wednesday.
Wednesday, by the way, Wednesday you get in free. Wednesday is a freebie day. You come up, you hang out. There's some people that just go to Wednesday because they don't want to spend money for the convention. They just come up and hang out.
I try to get there. I did it once when you moved in and I had to help. I helped you set up. I got there once. I can never get back there on a Wednesday. Always something. Either I can't afford it, or some of the guys were coming with me. Oh, I can't make it Wednesday. That kind of thing. So I'm still working on getting there Wednesday because I love. No matter, I need as much time as I can get with you guys.
I hear you.
I know, because it's once a year, and I don't even give a crap if I play anything on Wednesday. In fact, remember, I think I had to miss one con, and the next year I came back. I don't even think I played anything. I just schmoozed all weekend.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Geek Nerd Game. So it actually worked out good for Janelle because needing money because Bledsaw lost a lawsuit with Frog God Games because of his racist behavior cut into the sales of Teagle Manor. He sold the rights to Caverns of Thracia and I believe Dark Tower to Goodman Games. So that's why we'll be seeing. That's why they ran the Dark Tower Kickstarter a couple years ago or last year, and so it actually worked out great. I think all Janelle's stuff has been liberated from Judges Guild. I think either she owns it or Goodman Games owns it. So I thought that she might not. Book of Treasure Maps. No, you know what? I think Goodman Games owns Book of Treasure Maps too. So it worked out good because all Janelle's stuff has now been liberated from Judges Guild and now belongs to other people. Which
cool.
And honestly, Goodman Games has a lot of respect for Judges Guild stuff. They do really good. They do a good job with their reprints. So
yeah. But we get back to Jeff D. Yes, Jeff D. there. So if you like V&V, he's the guy to see.
Yep,
that rides.
It's called the Mighty Protectors now. That's the so they had a big lawsuit, the Village of FGU, that went on for like decades. And what happened was Jeff has the game back, but they can't call it Villains of Vigilantes. They call it the Mighty Protectors. And yes, it's the same. Well,
it says Villains Vigilantes 3.0 on it.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think the cover says like real small letters, and then it says Mighty Protectors or whatever.
It's like a little thing in the corner. Yeah, I think Goodman is a better steward.
I think so too. I agree, Rocky, because that's that they have the time and the effort to actually appreciate the material. I don't think anybody at WotC's ever read anything by Judges Guild, first of all, number one. And number two, they definitely wouldn't show it the kind of appreciation that Joe Goodman shows it. So yes, it's in very good hands now.
And let me give you a couple of warnings. Bad Mike stuff. Every year I say, I'm not going to buy anything from you. And I end up buying something.
I don't know
because
what
I said, I have all this.
I don't know what I have that you need.
I know, neither do I, but I always end up buying something. And also, is Frog God going to be there in any capacity?
So they will be there, but they're not going to man a booth. I will be selling a lot of Frog God stuff out of my booth. It's mostly swords and wizardry stuff. I do have some old Pathfinder from some 5e, but I will be trying to sell as much as as much Swords Wizardry as I myself own, because honestly, most of the Swords Wizardry we've already sold. We don't really, and we're not doing that line anymore, so we don't have a lot of it. But I will have a lot of my boxes. And
is the president of Frog Guide going to be there?
No, Bill is not going to be there. His son graduates next week. Johnny graduates high school. So, but Zach will be there. Zach's going to be there. Ken Spencer's going to be there. Casey Christopherson, the art director, is going to be there. Jen Blaze is going to be there. So there'll be a lot of representatives.
Good. I dodged a bullet this year because I don't like going around Bill because he always takes my money. He will.
He's a good salesman.
I was thinking of getting this. Well, you want this? You buy this? I'll give you a deal. It's like, don't do that to me.
So Swords and Wizards it's not going away. The rights are just back with Matt Finch now, and he left the company. He has his own company, so it's not going away. It's just it's going to be published by a different publisher. And most of the books we still have for Swords and Wizards, obviously we're not going to reprint them since we're not doing that line anymore. But we still have a few things.
They'll work. And is Matt going to be there? Did you say?
Yes. Oh yeah, Matt will be there. Yeah,
Matt Finch.
Matt's in our Hall of Fame of North Texas Hall of Fame. He will be there.
He's got to run his Teagle. He's got to run his Mithras Tower.
Mithras Tower. Yeah.
Mithras Tower.
Right now, Frog Guide has a Kickstarter going on. It's an OSC Tome of Essential Horror. I think it just busted 14,000. It's a book of monsters for the OSC game. So we're just not publishing 5e right now because. Would you publish 5e right now? I wouldn't. I don't know what's going on with 5e. I don't know what's happening with it. Unless it was Shadow Dark, I wouldn't publish it because I don't have a clue. So we're not doing any 5e right now, but we did do Splinters of Faith for old school, and we did it what I can't remember what rule sets we did it for. We did Whisper and Venom reprint, and we, like I said, we're just doing the Tome of Essential Horror.
I still have my original box from Zach when he was lesser known games.
Venom. Yeah, that Whisper Venom box is great. That was a great product back then, but
that was a great product.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think the Kickstarter or is going to be ready for North Texas, the Whisper Venom, because I know it's out on PDF, but I don't think we have physical copies yet, which sucks. We could definitely sell some there.
Right. Guys, I think we should wrap this up. I got to get.
Oh crap!
No. There's
been an hour. We've done an hour on North Texas.
Just since I showed up. Yeah, I showed up and that derailed everything. So,
yeah. By the way, if you want to know about the current Kickstarter, there's a link. Go to Tenkar's Tavern. It was a post.
We know.
A guy named Abe is handling it. Abe is he's a great guy. Abe wrote most of the Monsters Tome of Essential Horrors and did a good job. So if you're playing OSC or BX, because it's basically BX, and you need a bunch of old monsters.
They all have little. Every monster has a little encounter write up, a little adventure seed. Yep. I love that shit.
Oh, and go over to New Big Dragon Games booth and buy his stuff. Good stuff. The creatures.
Yeah, Richard has some great stuff. He doesn't publish enough. He's a teacher and he's very busy. He's a professor, but his stuff. Guess what? I'll be carrying Greg Gillespie stuff at the con, by the way.
Nice.
He's always upset that nobody carries his books. So I'll have all four of his dungeons at my booth. I just remember that.
Greg's going to be there.
I forgot about it.
Greg will be there so he can sign your stuff.
I will be there selling Greg's stuff. So yes,
I might have to pick up his. I only got his first two dungeons. I don't have.
Drawer Deep's great, Glenn. Yeah, we're running. Right
I know, but his is a little. He's the high price spread, but I understand why, because he publishes it all himself. He doesn't do Kickstarter. Does he do Kickstarter?
He does Kickstarters. Yeah, he does Kickstarters.
Oh, okay, but still, I can understand what the cost. It's like in the day. I didn't want to buy Call of Cthulhu, but I did because it was always like $10 more than anything else. But I understood because they got the rights to the IP, so they got to, pay Arkham House or whatever. And it's the same with Greg. He's a one-man band, so I can understand that.
He spends a lot of money on art too. He has a lot of original art in his products. And he has no stock art at all. And he tells me he spends a very big majority of his money that he makes on the artwork. So.
And who knows? You might find a piece.
And by the way,
Rocky
does his layouts. Rocky Gardner does his layouts.
Rocky Gardner.
So that's awesome.
That is true. All right, before these motherfuckers keep on talking forever,
I got another hour.
I'm proving.
Before my old man bladder fails me.
I'm proving that Mike and I can waste.
Let's go. Who wants to hear another hour? Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Who wants to hear another hour? Come on, people.
This proves to people that Mike and I can waste an hour of your time without talking movies.
Easily.
Without talking movies.
And we weren't even talking movies half the time. If you want us to talk movies, we'll waste 2 hours of your time. Oh man.
Listen, if you want a bad Mike late night show, just tune in on Wednesday nights.
Glenn and Mike talk movies.
We're getting there.
Movies and we'll do film noir one night. We'll do westerns.
Oh God! All right, yeah. You know what? Yeah,
I will start pulling stuff off my shelf.
We could do a Friday night with Mike and Glenn. I'll put myself down here. All right. And what I will do is I'll mute my mic and I'll do like my posts like the next couple of days, get them all ready and set up.
He'll answer his mail. He'll wash his cat. I'll
just keep the chat comments going to make sure nothing gets missed. But we'll bill it though as a special. We'll bill it as
that would be hilarious. We need to. I'm going to hold you to that. We got to do that one time.
After North Texas, listen at North Texas. We'll figure out the details in person. How about that?
Let us know because if Glenn and I have to do a 10 best fill in the blank movie list, I gotta have time to look up my movies and do a little research so we can share stories about them. Because I used to be Glenn's probably a bigger nerd than I am now, but I used to be a gigantic movie nerd in the 80s and 90s, and I've slacked off the last 20 years.
Well, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. I was going to say, if we had a movie room at the con, that'd be great. I'd run it.
Glenn and I couldn't do that every week or even maybe once every couple months we could do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe seasonally. And
I'm in. If Glenn's in, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm happy to be the keep up on a chat. And actually, you'd have to supply me though with like a PowerPoint or
sure
power slide.
You can flip up like you can flip up Good, Bad, and the Ugly
movie picture, all the movie posters.
That reminds me. I will be bringing I'm going to try and bring my big laptop with a flash drive full of all my Mystery Science Theater episodes.
Oh my God!
Ooh, my favorite's still Mitchell. I don't know why.
And the riff track stuff too. Oh my goodness. Great stuff.
Dangerous stuff. All right, folks. We're going to try to get out of here before we hit 3 hours. We don't want it to pass. Kelsey was our high water mark. We don't want to make the high water mark lower water. All right. Come on.
I can't wait to see you guys, man.
We're treading water right now.
There we go.
Yeah, I can see me in my skinny glory.
Huge thanks to Glenn. Huge thanks to Mike. Now, Mike's my once a week work spouse. This is 2 times. I might have trouble with my real spouse.
We got to still meet next Wednesday. We got Levi. We don't have Skeeter, but we have Levi next week.
All right, and then we'll be doing multiple live streams from North Texas.
And you didn't even buy Mike dinner.
Well, have you seen? Listen, neither Mike nor I need the extra food. All right, let's just be honest. Okay.
No.
That's state etiquette right there.
And besides, with Mike is doing very, very well. He's been losing weight, so we are
not hungry anymore. Using Ozempic, so it's working. It's doing its magic. You'll see in person. I've lost about 25 pounds. I mean, it's not super obvious, but when you weigh as much as I do, every bit counts. So
go watch my old man Grognard videos, and then see me at the con. It's like
Glenn looks fit and trim. Glenn looks slim, trim. He's a mean fighting machine now. He really is.
There you go, folks. As always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I will be back again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Gamers Health. My wife. Gamers Health.
Listen to Thaco's Hammer and Radio Grognard. There, I got
Radio Grognard. And remember, at some point later on today or tomorrow, I'm going to link the 8 or 9 videos that Steve Deinhardt is trying to have removed from the channel.
Oh God, him again. Oh, lovely.
Oh yeah.
We could do another hour on that.
By the way, they are all downloaded, folks, and all going to be going up on Rumble. But just for those, you gotta keep it real. All right, folks. Thank you. God bless. Good night.
Good night.